year was 1990 and the SANFL was divided. Port Adelaide tried to go it alone into the AFL and Glenelg led the fight against the move. The grand final was the on-field culmination of the battle and Port Adelaide won the premiership. The game's moved on, but the rivalry continues between these clubs and Port Adelaide is desperate. The Magpies have fallen from their perch in the five, losing their past 4 games in a row. The Tigers started the season poorly, but they've won 2 in a row, and now they're stalking the 5. A victory this afternoon, and they can pounce. Alberton Oval on a perfect day for football. It's Port Adelaide against Glenelg in the SANFL's rivalry round. Hello everyone, and welcome also for the first time to Stuart Dew. And Dewey, plenty to look forward to this afternoon. Obviously both sides will be desperate.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic game. I think Glenelg have had the last couple of wins, been really good. Port Adelaide are trying to get back on track after losing 4 in a row, so important game for both finals aspirations.
And of course the rivalry round underway last night with Sturt getting over Norwood under the lights at the parade by 10 goals. Big effort by the Double Blues this season. They're second on the ladder. Port Adelaide against Glenelg, the only match this afternoon, and then tonight Central's against the Eagles, and tomorrow the round completed with South against North. As I said, Central still leading the way, Sturt up there in second place, Port hovering outside the 5, and incredibly Glenelg with a victory this afternoon can jump into the 5. Down to Mark Soderstrom on the boundary and a little bit of pre-match action which spurs on the rivalry between these two clubs, Soders.
Well, Neil, it was some nostalgia. Obviously, we've had a Legends game before each of the games for the whole SANFL this week. Have a look at some of these stars of yesteryear. The Silver Fox, Stevie Williams in action there. Here's Kim Hodgman trying to do some work around the goals. And the ABC's own little man there, Nick Chigwidden. Now, he was in great touch. He ran amok, but I'm tipping those little hamstrings are feeling shorter than usual right about now. He was very impressive, though, the former captain there, Nick Chigwidden. Now, getting back to today's game, the problem, or one of the problems certainly for Port Adelaide in recent weeks, is they've struggled to find an avenue for goal. Now, Clive Waterhouse back in the side this week after a hamstring problem to try and arrest that situation. And Timmy Ginniver has his ideas on how you stop a Glenelg side that's kicked 46 goals in the past fortnight.
Been outstanding, hasn't it? Free-flowing footy, not a lot of pressure though. Got to make sure that we're very, very close in, tight, and that we're winning the first ball. If you do that, you dictate play, and the Bays have been doing that the past 2 weeks, and we make sure we're that team that does it this week.
And we have the Port Adelaide line up there, and the big inclusion is Clive Waterhouse. He's a match winner, and I'd expect him to do just that today.
And so does Tigers' point of view. Things have gone pretty smoothly the last fortnight.
Sure has. They've played some good footy, but they have 2 late withdrawals today. Tom Logan being pulled from the side by the power. He has a bit of an ankle complaint. And also Luke Panozzo, who's proven himself as a goal kicker this year as a small forward, out with a hamstring. And despite those 2 losses, understandably, Coach Mark Micken's very happy with the way his side's been travelling.
I think we've really continued to challenge the players, and we've had some extra training sessions, and I think it's sort of revived us a little bit. But just with the way we've played, we've certainly got a lot more run coming from out of our back line, and that's created some quick ball movement, and then whenever you get quick ball movement you get more scores. So I think it's a combination of things.
Now we see the Glenelg line up, and we've heard about their run, and the leader of that is Brett Backwell, so expect him to do well in that department today.
And so does just quickly perfect day for footy.
Spot on it is. Last night it was hot chocolate and electric blanket weather. It was that cold. Today much better, 14 degrees, fine and sunny, a bit of a chill in the air. But scene set for a big match between these 2 rivals, the Bays and the Maggies.
And it's welcome for the first time this afternoon for the first bounce, Michael Maney.
Thanks, Neil. Looking forward to a wonderful game of football. Port Adelaide and Glenelg. What a rivalry they do have. And at round 12 last year, Port was 6-3. They sat 3rd on the ladder. They are in a bit of trouble now. They're 4-6. Glenelg 3-6. They were 5-5 and sitting in 5th. Very important to get off to a good start for both sides. Umpire Gary Feeler in the centre of Alberton Oval. Should be a good bounce, and is. Button got up pretty quickly, got it down to Backwell, taken to ground by Di Pasquale, and will have a secondary bounce. Some interesting matchups. I wonder if John Hinge will go into the midfield for Glenelg, the Adelaide Crow. Saw him go into the midfield, Stewie, a couple of weeks ago against Norwood, and he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was very good, and it was disappointing that he did the hamstring when he got his first AFL game, so look forward to some good form.
Let's go to Mark in the Port bench.
Brad Murray sitting there, also James Micklejohn and Luke Slattery.
waiting for their opportunity on a wonderful day in Adelaide. This SANFL football rivalry round. Kirkby kicked it high. Good thump away by Lees. Here's Seller. He slips. Got the handball back. Douglas got it high. And Moore takes the mark. Well, Ben Moore booted 4 goals last week. He gets an opportunity from 45 to get another one here.
Really need to nail these goals. An early start here at Alden. Just settle the nerves. A good start for Glenelg if he can kick this one.
Ben Moore played a bit of football for Richmond in the AFL. The firemen, a lot of firemen around involved in football. Mark Soderstrom, one of them, on our coverage here on ABC Television Sport. Here's Moore. Good looking kick. Umpire just watches it draw back. And first blood goes to the Tigers. Wonderful kick by their former skipper in Ben Moore.
Fantastic start there for Glenelg. As we see, the square-up kick, smart play, didn't blaze away, and Ben Moore just floated down with the ball, and a great finish.
Benny Moore just showing how to do it, running off his wing. He's on this side of the ground on his centre wing, and Shane Bianchi, his direct opponent. So in they go for the second ball up. Douglas prominent, taken down, we'll get another one. Slap bang in the middle of the ground again. Ivan Maric, important cog in the Magpies machine. He's looking to get back into form after a struggle with a hip complaint. Of course, he's on the Adelaide list. And who's on the Glenelg bench, Sodas?
Somewhat of a surprise, Justin McConnell sitting there after 6 goals for last week against West Adelaide. Matty Graham and Angus Lely, who's one of 3 players to come in the side today, along with Tom Plant and also Jack Fosdyke, the debutant.
Fisher did well to get it out of there. What a collision. Ball came to ground. Tigers have the numbers, and they'll get it inside their forward area again. Late tackle, free kick, and it will go to Mitchell, who is the biggest kick on the ground by a long way. So Mitchell looks, what's he got in front of him? Well, he's cribbed a few metres inside and then decides he'll put it to the top of the square, but a bit of a hospital kick in the end, well pulled down by Maric, and he'll go to the far side of the ground looking for the runners.
Maric to Carr. From half-back, just squirted the kick down the line and found Elstone. Elstone just on the short kick to Archie. Man running for him is Perkins. Ran into trouble, back to Archie. Elstone ran into trouble also. Just buffeted off the kick. Fisher goes in, fed it out to Button. Button quickly on the boot. That was intelligent play. Carr got a nudge from Douglas. He'll get a free kick. Tom Carr.
In the back here, right under here.
Let's have a look at this one, Stewie. Your decision.
Oh, smart player, Tom Carr. Use his experience.
Good answer, Stewie. Haven't been around long and you've got it working beautifully so far. Carr to De Pasquale at half-back. One of the most consistent players in this outfit. Pound for pound, gives you plenty. Carr again, just racking up the stats at the moment. Elstone pushes off, looks for the lead. Mark Clayton's given him that. The kick was okay. The bounce was terrible. Back will duck the head. Good enough to get it to Kane. He's a racehorse. Over the top to Fisher. Now Fisher's got Seller in a bit of space. He set it up for him. He goes back and takes the mark. In fact, it's Kirkby. Kirkby with a left foot and finds Mitchell, and he can kick them from about 40 more metres out than this one. Just a matter of accuracy for Mitchell. You'd love these blokes who can kick the ball a million miles, Stewie.
Oh, they're worth a weight in goal, that's for sure. But I've been impressed with Glenelg's pressure, their forward line pressure, and in holding the ball in and turned it over there, and Backwell pushed back, helped his teammates out, and then the long, you know, they've got a lot of pace coming off that half-back line.
David Mitchell. Good-looking kick. Was never going to miss. Wonderful preparation. He went to half-back last year, David Mitchell, and said to the coach, I want to go back there and play a bit. He did okay, but I tell you what, he's a ton of value up forward.
Yeah, he's been good value. He's a bit of a Bruce Linden lookalike. But a good play, unselfish by Glenelg. As we see the build-up here, the mark inside 50. Could have quite easily gone back and had a shot at goal, but had the teammate in the better position. There it is, just a square up. And a beautiful finish. Mark Micken would be very happy with this start.
Yes, indeed. It's pretty good, isn't it? They've kicked a couple of goals, and as Soda's mentioned, McConnell on the bench, he's kicked 12 goals in the past 2 weeks. So he's in reasonable nick as well to throw into the mix. Maric, beautiful tap down. Di Pasquale released it for Elstone. Onto his left foot he'll go. Down to half forward looking for Lacroix on the lead up. He'll have to half volley or maybe just wait for the bounce. Couldn't get it. Hand pass delivered now to Lacroix. Well done by Clinch. He followed up, but the Tigers have taken it away. Backwell was aware he had players outside him. One of them was Ruwalt. Runs towards half forward. Di Pasquale backed off. That was fortunate. Now it comes to Douglas. Inside 50 with the kick, and Douglas was taken late. Umpire calls play on. Giarchi should have taken it. Now he's in trouble. Now we'll get a bounce.
Ooh, don't see that very often from Giarchi.
Very lucky there.
Jimmy Ginnivan. Plenty of headaches early, you'd say. Only 2 goals down, but gee whiz, it's been all the Tigers at the moment. Remembering they haven't won here since 1993. Elstone trying to find a gap. Oh, and then he dummied. What did the umpire think of that? We'll throw it in. Gee, he had nowhere to go, did he?
Yeah. I think he's glad the boundary line was there, Stewie.
Exactly.
Former Hawk, Elstone, Maric got it down to Archie, clears the area. Here's a chance for Dolling. Stood his ground terrifically well. Let himself down with a kick, but it might come off all right to be Archie or Clinch. Clinch looks like a good mover. Looks for his skipper in Clayton. Always give it to the skipper in your first game. Taken by Biarchi. He's got pace. He should kick this. He lines them up and threads it through. Magpies get their first of the afternoon, and you've got to say good work by the young man in Clinch. The handball was to Clayton's bootlaces, but he got a good bounce and they set it up.
Yeah, he had the right idea and took him on. Clayton off the half-back line, and gee, Biarchi is a smooth mover, and that's a class finish on the run from 45 metres. He just steered it in home, didn't overkick it. Nice.
Couple of changes already for the Bays. Adam Fisher's come off the ground. Lally into the centre. Ruwalt having a break. We see McConnell here just on the near side wing, picking up Biarchi, who just kicked that goal for Port.
Biarchi, former under-17 captain here at the Magpies, and also a reserves best and fairest winner 3 years ago. So a goal each for the 2 wingmen, Biarchi and Moore from the Tigers. Lacroix almost took it, then he took Smith high, so it'll be a free kick. Smith's gone back into the defensive zone the last few weeks for the Bays. He's been a key for them. McConnell is on the ground, has got it around the back. Now they're working through the middle. McConnell again. He drives it long, and it goes over the back, and Moore is onto it. He could have a second, he just couldn't gather it. Under pressure, Perkins has got him. Good work, got it off nicely, and then the centering kick was just a bit too high from Plant. And so as a result, Fisher on the bike. The Magpies will come away from their defensive zone, and they've had to do a lot of this afternoon thus far in only 8.5 minutes of football.
And they kicked to a contest, but it's all right. Di Pasquale, wait. Ball was touched. This won't be a mark. Lacroix made the front position pretty well. Mules roved it. Smith just pushed off. This is good work as they work a chain of handballs, and it ends up with McConnell. McConnell, he's a clever player. Who can he set up? He kicks it high. It's well done by Maric. The target back there was Plant, but he couldn't get there. Biarchi's got it. Just close to the wing. Boots forward. Clayton's got a bit of space. This is Jeremy Clayton in the short sleeve Guernsey this afternoon. Wore the long sleeves last week in the match against Sturt. And who would blame anyone wearing long sleeves last week? It was bitterly cold. Dolling from outside 50. Looks at a forward line where Waterhouse is just backing back and hasn't made much of a move and just wants it bombed in long. Button's got back as a good ruckman does. He goes to Waterhouse's lead, but clinch! Oh, couldn't clinch it. Surely a free kick for the Bays. No free kick. Handball comes out. Taken by Waterhouse. Good tackle by Button. Here's McConnell. Should by foot. Too far for Backwell. Falls over the back to Elstone. Elstone's got them queuing up in the centre of the ground. The kick was 15 to 20. Maric, he's moving well. Good sign for the Crows. Here comes Carr. He pumps it long. Who can take a mark? Button did pretty well to get into the contest from the front of the pack and knock it through from behind. So 13 plays 8, or is it 12 plays 8? So interesting start to this game, Stewie. It's pretty quick these days. They get it away from half back.
Yeah, definitely a great style. I like the style of both teams. They're playing, you know, random football, just playing on at all costs. It's good attacking styles.
Kane goes into the corridor for Button. Released it to Sherwood. Then on to Douglas, class player, and he just made the kick before he was run down. And as a result, maybe that pressure, Di Pasquale taking the mark defensively for Port Adelaide, can clear to the far side, waits in space, but he goes to Archie by hand. Archie through the corridor. Mistake, and again, now it might cost them. Mules chips across. He'll wait up, Will Mitchell.
That's it.
He looks and just waits to see what he's got in front of him. Plants on the lead. He won't go to that one. He waits again. Maric is back behind the play. That's the problem for the Bays at the moment. Now he sets the ball up into space more than anything. Sella won't get there, but Archie will, and he'll just guide it ever so nicely towards the boundary line. About 40 around from the Glenelg goal. Mark Micken on the phone. Just a few explanatory words coming out there.
Watch the footy.
Watching it pretty closely. Inside 50, Glenelg. Maric wonderfully down to Perry. Caught brilliantly by Kirkby. Not rewarded. Perkins. Got around Lally. Elstone cleverly to the line. Stewie, she's a fair old arm wrestle at the moment with neither side really, apart from the couple of quick goals to Glenelg. It's tightened up a bit.
They're very tight. I think we've seen a couple of turnovers, but the skills should be perfect. It's a beautiful day for football out there.
Maric, Di Pasquale through a lot of traffic, fed the handball out. Carr is taken to ground by Mules, and we'll see another ball up. 12 minutes gone in this first term, and a wonderful day for footy. Tim Geneva under the pump at the moment. 4 in a row they've lost, and certainly wouldn't want to drop this one. Biachi. The kick looking for Lacroix, just too far for him. Clayton, oh, that's wonderful play by Clayton. He snared it in a 50-50 contest. He's outside 50, slipped, got around his man, and was dealt with after he kicked the footy. And the free kick will go to Lacroix from right on 50. And Stewie, on a day like this, a former league footballer, ought to be able to get the distance and thread it from here, Lacroix.
Definitely now that the play's been held up, just settle, go back, make sure you kick through the ball. See Julian Wade coming in to give him some advice from behind. Just tell him, settle down, make sure of it.
Lacroix, 19 goals, 10 this year. Pushed it away to the right. He still has 19 goals, but he's registered his 11th behind. Seems to be moving around all right, though. Lacroix has a change down there with Elstone coming off.
Brett Murray coming on. We saw that a few times last week, Michael, when Port Adelaide took on Sturt with that change. Elston comes off for about 7 minutes. Murray comes on, replaces him.
Straight into the action. A mark at half forward. Clayton wants it. He'll get it. Jeremy Clayton finds space inside that forward 50. And he's running a merry dance with John Hinge at the moment.
Jeremy, that's your angle, thanks. Mark right here.
Clayton will take his time. Spent a couple of years at Alberton for a couple of best and fairest as we see the ruck change, which should be standard fare with Maric taking a seat. He's been good early. Ivan Maric and Micklejohn coming onto the ground. And Clayton starts it to the left. It comes back, but maybe not enough. Wait on the umpire. Minus score. Certainly sections of the crowd thought that was a goal, Stuart.
No surprise that the Port crowd, Port section, they thought that was a goal. That's the hardest pocket at Albion over to kick goals from my experience.
A good call by the goal umpire.
Keep out of the light. Keep right out, please. Right out.
Kane to half back, finds Douglas. Hinge in a bit of space. Got to get around a couple. Was dealt with by Carr and then said he dispossessed the football incorrectly. I just thought that was a standard procedure.
Yeah, Douglas didn't look after his Crows teammate Hinge there with that nice hospital handball. So turnover, Porter on.
Micklejohn just about collected by Alan Waterhouse. All active at a touch. How's his goal kicking? On the left. It's curling back. Not too far for a goal. But Big Clive just lacking a bit of touch. Been out for a few weeks with a hamstring. He might have snabbled that a couple of weeks ago.
I think as we saw there, he had a little bit more time than what he thought. He just rushed the kick.
Play on,
Gee, they're whittling away the margin, aren't they? All of a sudden, Port Adelaide, a lot of pressure on the ball. Summited inside 50. Waterhouse crashes the pack. Backwall couldn't trap it. Dipper Squally, who looks like the job on Backwall this afternoon. He gathered it, got it out to Carr, and he put it across the line. Hinge. Gee, I don't know if that was a good move, trying to keep the ball in there.
Yeah, not good. You mentioned the match-up there of Di Pasquale on Backwell. He started really well. We haven't seen Backwell. I think he's had a couple of touches, but Di Pasquale's right on it.
They're keeping you busy down there, Sodas, or at least the interchange, Stuart.
They certainly are. Lachlan Button's come off the ground. He's been doing a lot of ruck work while Cranston's been out with a medial ligament. Done very well, so he's having a bit of a break now. We'll probably see Sella move up.
They work it through the hands from Mules to Sherwood to centre wing. Archie went back. Ruwald looked like he was taken without the ball. Umpire called play on. Now wait. He waited the hand pass very well. Here's Bianchi. Bianchi from 70. He looks up and wastes the kick. Sherwood read it well and takes the mark. And he'll relieve some of the pressure for the Bays. And certainly it's in the seesawing contest. It's been 5 or so minutes of domination by the Bays, followed by probably 7 or 8 minutes of domination by Port.
Batson just dropped off him there and just allowed Sherwood to grab that. Hinge looking to run. Got into a bit of trouble, but then found Smith. Smith's looking for a runner. That kick is a terrible kick. Carr, almost equal, terrible attempt to take the mark, then a free kick to Kane. A few mistakes creeping into the game at the moment. Unforced errors too, you'd have to say. Fisher. Long kick at the back. Kirkby can't take the mark. Rove beautifully. That was Plant. That ends up with Allen. Allen. Good leap, Douglas. Can't take the mark. Normal recovery skills are good. Can he squeeze it through? Got around with class. No problems for Richard Douglas. He is a top-class footballer, this guy. And the Bays get their third. And you'd have to say, Port not rewarded for all their effort first, then Glenelg go up and score.
Definitely. Those ones kill you with confidence when you've had all the ball, and as you see there, the key there with Douglas, he kept his feet in the contest and just classed a step inside. But like we said, Port got the momentum back. They didn't get rewarded. Poor goal kicking, 1 goal 4 at this stage. And Glenelg come down there, 3 goals straight, and they're off to a flyer.
Richard Douglas, a couple of years ago in the under-18s, played with the Calder Cannons, was their best and fairest winner, picked up by the Crows. A lot of class. It was good from Moore. Got it out to Fisher. Fisher released it as well. They're away and running through Fosdyke. Inside 50. Good kick. Can play on. Just came off the chest of his target in Sella.
Ryan, they've had it. Didn't quite hold the back either. Didn't quite hold it. Here, thank you.
Summited coming off for Slattery. Spreading the load, Port Adelaide early on. Meiklejohn. Allen roved it, still got it. Umpire calls play on. Hand pass comes out to Di Pasquale, who then missed his target. Kerry had to go back. Released it for Di Pasquale. Crunch. In went Allen. And we'll finally get a free kick for in the back. Di Pasquale rewarded for all his hard work in there. And he's suffering for his work too.
Pretty tough nut, this bloke. And as you said, Stewie, he's done a pretty good job so far on Backwell. He's only had a couple of touches, Backwell, so...
That's twice he's looked a little bit sore, and you'll often find that when someone's running with the prime move of the opposition club, they'll be a little bit sore because he might be a bit of a target.
Lees from half-back, good measured kick to Archie, who found some space at half-back and kicks to the wing. Slattery just fresh onto the ground, can't take the mark. What's his recovery like? Tried to get it to Dolling. In fact, it's Murray. And a boundary throw-in. Pretty tight contest at the moment, just 8 points the difference. Port Adelaide have gone inside 59 times, Glenelg 11. And they just haven't rewarded themselves, Port Adelaide. Good crowd in. Meiklejohn showing his wares. Douglas looking for Hinge. The volleyball there at the moment. Slattery looked up and the only play he could see was Backwell. He wasn't going to give it to him. And another ball up really close to our guys there. And a little bit of testosterone being showed here at the moment. Fisher on the bottom of that pack. The umpire says, well, let's just get on with it. Sella down beautifully to Ruwald, to Moore. Moore's kick is marked by Mitchell. Just as he was falling to the ground, managed just to hold on to it for long enough.
Mitchell, as we've mentioned, a long kick. Inside 50, he goes for Plant. Oh, Chi puts the paw up. Carr helps him out, taps it wide. Perkins speculated at Jeremy Clayton. Jeremy Clayton breaks. Just got the hand pass away, Dolling. Now to Murray. Wanted the 1-2, Murray. Bit of a skip, then he got it away. Brilliant work from off to Dolling through the centre field. Dolling wakes up, oh, he's gone. Yes, he's gone, but he got the hand pass away and the umpire said, too late. You wonder what you're supposed to do in that situation. He was never really tackled, Dewey.
I don't think. Let's have a look at the monitor. That's not a tackle, that's a handball. All day long.
Down towards half forward. And Ruwalt being spoken to there. Just a quick look at the bench and Richie Douglas having a seat. And so Port Adelaide will take a free kick. Plenty of action to talk about in this game so far. And Fisher comes across, read it well, knocked it away from Murray. We'll get a ball in. Just the beautiful bright afternoon at the Alberton Oval this afternoon, but I reckon the sun might get in the eyes of one or two players from time to time sitting low in the winter sky. We had the winter solstice, of course, during the week.
Chance for Lacroix. Wonderful handball to Slattery. We know he can burn off Sella, but Sella's given a good chase. He kicks to the hot spot. Who can mark it? They fly. Sherwood's there. Dragged it in. Has he got a problem? Umpire says, give it to me. They're not as critical on that in SANFL footy than they are in the AFL. That's a pretty hot potato if you're in the AFL, Stewie.
Yeah, not very critical 15 metres from goal either, but Glenelg were lucky there. Two guys are fighting over it.
Yeah, Sella knocked it down. Sherwood clears the area with an up-country punt. You've got to be careful how you say that, and it bounces out of bounds. Boundary throw-in. Sherwood just had a little bit more time than he thought there, Stewie. Just threw it on the boot.
Yeah, the perceived pressure in a game like this is big. The Glenelg on ballers are being very smart here. Port are using the defensive side every time, and you'll see they'll come in and crowd that area, and that's why they're finding it hard to get these clearances away from the throw-in.
Sella perhaps had the better of that. Follows up on the ground and is rewarded with a free kick. Lots of hope for this young man in AFL football. Drives it up. Long he goes for Kirkby. To ground came the ball courtesy of Archie, who has grabbed umpire said play on. Comes out to Ruwalt, just fashioned a kick out. I don't think he knew Backwell was there, but Backwell certainly knew where the ball was going. Inside 50 for Plant. Ball punched away. Brilliantly roved in there by Allen. Slipped it away to Mitchell. Goal to the Bays. Oh, that was just classic, wasn't it? Rove it off the pack. The runner beside you, and Mitchell has his second of the afternoon.
Fantastic play there. Brett Backwell just ducked out. Saw that Glenelg had a lot of numbers at the contest, and unlucky, nearly took the mark here, but the pace coming through here on the crumb was sensational. Mitchell just turned the ball on the corner. Easy goal.
Ty Allen, the man who got on the end of that with Mitchell.
Michael.
Go, Mark.
Crow listed, big man James Sella just coming off for a spell. We'll see youngster Lachlan Button back into the ruck for the Bays.
What's the atmosphere like down there at ground level, Mark? Pretty good crowd behind you.
It's fantastic, obviously, with no AFL football here in Adelaide at the moment. The crowd is here, and the big Bay contingent just behind me here enjoying the way the Tigers are going about it.
Certainly doing plenty right in this first term. Backwell, quick hands. Hinge. Got it away to Graham. Graham's kick up forward. McConnell thought he might have been held. Mitchell off the ground as he got free. No, just pushes it away to the right. Almost the perfect opportunist goal to David Mitchell. It's 15 points the difference in favour of the Bays.
Hey, go, Jimmy!
Headaches for Timmy Geneva. 15 points the margin. 4-1, plays 1-4. Tells a story, doesn't it? Carr slips it back into that centre corridor. Defensive centre corridor, though, for Port Adelaide. Now to Jeremy Clayton. Mark Clayton leads up, but he won't go there. Not just yet. Decides instead to go down the wing. And Meikle-John flies and takes a good mark. It was well set up, and Kirkby was standing there thinking, well, what can I do? Now Mark Clayton. Oh, he's kicked. Helicopters. Allen took it. Allen looks up. Didn't have anything that way, so he decided to go back to Moore. On this side of the ground, he's got more players. Here's Ruwalt breaking towards half forward. Ruwalt sets it up. Couple of flyers from the Bays. It falls to the back. Nicely done by Plant. on the left foot. Not the greatest of kicks. McConnell couldn't gather. Dolling did. Now Jeremy Clayton again. No options this side. Dummies his way around, found some space, but still they're struggling to get it out of that forward 50. Allen comes from behind for the Bays, knocks it forward. Now to Moore. Can he get on the right foot? Moore gets the kick away, and the relieving mark taken by Lees.
Well, pretty tough out there, Stewie, at the moment.
Yeah, Port just can't seem to get out of the defensive 50.
Right on quarter time. Entertaining first quarter of football. There's John Hinge, who had plenty of it. Julian Waite on shot there, but out of the blocks, the Bays 4-1-25. They lead the Magpies 1-4-10. It's a 15-point ball game at quarter time.
Yes, and they'd be very, very happy with that start, wouldn't they? There's 15-point margin in favour of the Bays. Well, down to the Port huddle now, and Timmy Ginniver has been talking sternly to his players. You'd expect that. Look, they were dominated for periods of that quarter, and they gave away a couple of easy goals. The path to goal was pretty good. Let's have a listen.
Make sure that we're in front, and the big fellas are getting their knock. We're going to be in front. We're going to take it away, all right? We've been smashing in harder, and it's starting to come off. It's starting to come off. We've got to keep persisting at it and persisting at it and persisting at it all day. That reward will come. That reward will come. I'm telling you, they've had soft wins 2 weeks in a row. We've got to continue to smash in. We're going to do what we said at the beginning of the game. We're going to stick to our task. We're going to put the pressure on that forward line beyond anything that they've ever expected. And we're going to dominate this quarter. Take it over. Come on.
Well, there's Timmy Ginniver in action. I had the chance to sneak over and listen to Mark Micken. Now, despite a great start, he was a little bit disappointed. The ball's gone in 14 times into the forward 50 for Glenelg for a return of 4 goals won, which he wasn't happy about. The other thing he needs the boys to look out for was that Port Adelaide, like last week with Brian Chambers, they have their ruckman drop back, Micklejohn and Marriage dropping back deep into defence, and he wants to see his forwards provide a contest so that there's no marks on the back play. Bring it forward to the front. He said it's our first chance to have a good win here against Port Adelaide at Alberton since 1993.
So they're very much aware of the record as we look through those goal kickers. Bianchi with the only goal for Port Adelaide. Mitchell with 2, Moore and Douglas for the Tigers. And through those stats, you mentioned about the forward 50 entries, 15 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and another important one there is the centre breaks, 5-1. And with Port dropping that ruckman back, the centre breaks are going to be important to go into a free forward line without having that extra big man down there.
Let's see how it unfolds in the second term. Here's Michael Maney.
15 points to the good. Glenelg at the moment. Good first quarter, good start to the game. Which end of the ground will be the scoring end? We'll find out in this term. Maric couldn't take it with him. Fosdyke goes in hard. Beavering after the football. And Elstone right there with him.
Michael, just despite the windsock over near the scoreboard looking a little limp, just out on the ground you can feel a bit of breeze going to the right, which of course was the end Glenelg started to.
Thanks, Mark. Another ball up, coming up here, and that needs a little bit of attention. Stewie, what do you think? Club coffers need to be sort of delved into, another windsock?
Something should be done about that for sure. It's done some hard living.
Opportunity for Rudolph. Well done, Smith to Kane. Kane's foot skills are impeccable. Saw him a few weeks ago against Norwood on a Friday night. He was terrific. Douglas. Quiet that night, but had a good start to this game. Glenelg building up well. The skipper, Mules, wants to go short. Sherwood's drifted forward. Good kick, finds Hinge. Hinge in space. Can go bang. Will it come back? It fades away to the right. Perfect opportunity for a good start for the Bays. Missed by Hinge.
Yeah, unlucky there. They worked it well. They saw the crowded side was the outer wing and brought it back down to the members' side, and unlucky not to finish off the good work.
Lead out to 16 points. Maric the target here. Doesn't let his team down. Quickly slipped away the hand pass to Clayton. Clayton around on the right boot. Awkward kick, effective nonetheless. Wait, then Bianchi. Smothered by the desperate Mules. Down to half forward Lacroix. Taken to ground by Smith. Play on called the umpire. And coming the other way nicely was Fosdyke. Good delivery, found Moore. Just slightly defensive side, centre wing. Lead up came from Ruwalt. That's play on to the umpire. And now he comes in to ball it up just in front of the interchange area in the Port bench.
course, a great matchup we've got here. Daniel Lees and Ben Moore, both aerobic monsters. They can run very well. Lees a little more height, but he's certainly very concerned about Moore at the moment.
25-metre penalty there against the Bays. What do you think, Stewie?
Hinch should know better there. He knew the call, and then you see him, he just placed the ball on the ground, undisciplined. It cost him 50 metres in the AFL.
Would definitely have done. Clayton's kick, looking for Marich at the back, was Clinch. He couldn't get to the contest. Fisher, not ridden into the ground, just dived on the footy. Umpire Hay will come in and ball it up. Red-hot contest at the moment. You just think that Port need the next goal to keep themselves not in the match so much, but just to give them a little bit of a start on some momentum, because they haven't been able to string things together so far, have they?
Yeah, I think Tim Jimmer is right. They have hit in hard. It's just been the turnovers that have cost them. And had they not had those turnovers, it'd be a lot closer. And the shots on goal, obviously.
Marich and Button. Dispossessed was the big man. A lot of players around this football. And another bounce will come.
Can't remember, but I reckon Ivan Maric might have had a basketball background the way he held that ball then in one hand.
Just a wonderful tap out there. Elstone out in front of Waterhouse, thumped away by Rudolph. Well played, Waterhouse, kept it in front. He's got to get round Fisher. He does that all right. Then just sits it up to the square. Who can get a run on this? McConnell got a run. Ball flicked over the back. Here's Dolling. We know he's clever. He can't shake the tackle. Brilliant tackle down there by Douglas. And he's run him out of bounds. This is terrific work by Douglas.
Yeah, once again, look at that tackle. Brought him down. He's lucky that the boundary line was there. Although that's holding the ball.
Button against Batson. Neither. Well, Button eventually got a hand pass out. Now Mules waits, went back to McConnell. We said 12 goals in the last 2 weeks, but he's deep in defence at the moment. Did well, got out of there. Hit late, was he? Umpire said it was okay, and it forced the kick out on the full. Free kick will come back now for Perry. Justin McConnell there, formerly of North Ballarat. So Perry takes his time. A lot of Bays players, as you expect when this situation happens. A lot of Bays players flooding back into defence. Umpire says move it on. Perry eventually inside Elstone. Wants to square it. Lee says kick it over the back, but he's decided not to. He's decided instead to go forward. Sets it up. Should be a mark. Is a mark. Button was in the gap. So he was playing deep like the Port Adelaide ruckman are. And that again forces a sideways ball. McConnell under pressure. LeCras closes. McConnell, he managed to retain control of the ball, and now he's taken the ground to get a free kick. Well, that was nonsense football for the last couple of minutes, wasn't it?
Well, he got away with it, but this sideways football just doesn't work, and hopefully everyone will click on pretty soon, but very lucky to get away with that one.
Bit of verbal work by LeCras. Gives McConnell a 25-metre penalty. Kirkby slipped the handball to Mitchell. Wobbly ball to half forward. Marich in the gap. Foot skills, okay. Elstone will always want that left boot. Goes in a wide arc. Douglas does the chasing. Biachi's got some work to do here. Got a fickle bounce, but it ended up back in his lap. Well done, Biachi. Just took the bit by the teeth and kicks. Looking for clinch. And the young man takes his first real clean possession. Ridden into the ground. No 25-metre penalty. Big Smith behind him. He's looked like a stick, Clinch. And then finds Di Pasquale running off back well. That's a terrific kick as well. And Di Pasquale from outside the 50. Hoists it high. Pack forms. They go up. Batson just got a toe on the end of it. I think he's kicked a goal. The big man's got one. Well, he had to do his own roving because no one could do it for him. And Port get their second. And they get a little bit of reward, Stewie.
Well done by the big man. I would have almost paid the mark. I was surprised he didn't try and claim it. These days, the big forwards, if they hold the ball in the pack, they'll try and claim it. Turn around the corner. Very agile. Good finish.
Margin back to 10 points. Yeah, I think he probably knew. He didn't have first hands, did he?
Oh, not often you don't see forwards try and claim those ones, though. I would have if it was me.
Well, he was smart, though, I suppose. He played on, he got the goal, and that's the main thing. And 10 points to margin.
Eyes on it.
At Alberton, in front of their home crowd, the Magpies. Haven't been all that great this season. Lost a couple of matches down here. Here's Douglas. Marich monsters him.
Thanks, Father. Jeremy. Jeremy! Let it go,
Point out to
mate.
the umpire, it's not Ivan, it's Ivan.
Eyes on it.
Trust me, Ivan doesn't like being called Ivan.
Straight up for the footy.
The ball down. Looked like in the back, play on. Waite gave it off. Jeremy Clayton, prominent as usual, into the path of Clinch, but it got to Waterhouse. Now to Waite. Clinch is still ahead of him. Waite decided to go the extra step. Allen smothered it. Graham tried to take it down. No luck there. Pressure on. And just inside that 50 line, we'll get a ball up.
Good contest at the moment. Opportunity for Port. They've got it back to 10 points. It would please Tim
Around the pack too.
on the phone. Just knows what happens when those phones break down. They normally get broken up against a wall somewhere. Free kick. It goes to Port. It goes to Slattery. He sets it up and draws it back. And Port have got another. Well, the free kick went to Dolling. Advantage rule paid. And Slattery with plenty of pace kicked the goal. They are well and truly back in it. It's 4 points the difference.
That's definitely what they needed with just a smart play. Often when you hear a free kick and you're a forward, just go. They'll call you back if it's not your team, but smart play, onto the ball, kick the goal. Port are starting to get some reward because they've had a lot of the football.
Well, we heard that at quarter time. Tim Ginniver pleading with his Port Adelaide side. They will crack. They've had a couple of easy wins in the last couple of weeks. Certainly last week they beat West Adelaide by 132 points, the Bays. Their biggest win since 1995. Here's Wade out of the middle. Clinch dropped what he could have taken. Play on. Fisher got the hand pass out. Now Moore attacking for the Glenelg side. Inside 50 he goes. Kirkby dives. Perry stands up, takes the ball away. Jeremy Clayton, vital to Port Adelaide's hopes. A key mover for them. He goes out the back to Mark Clayton, the skipper off the side of the boot, and eventually over the boundary line, just in front of the Port bench. Benny Newell's there, captain of the Glenelg side.
I wonder if Mark Clayton's got his boots on the right foot at the moment, because he's had some couple of clangers and he's normally pretty precise with his foot skills. He's just missed a couple.
Maric uses his bulk, directs the ball down. Allen steals it. The Bays go into attack again. Mitchell brought it to the front. Now they've got an opportunity through Lally. He drives it long. First back there, Archie. What a pro. He'll take it to the line. Made it look like it was all unintentional, but believe me, he's very good at looking at unintentional.
He did that well. Lally, smart play there. He was 50 metres out, knew he couldn't make the distance, so he went for the boundary line.
Chance for Douglas. Perkins stole it off him. Carr working hard. So too Elstone. Another ball up. This game's gone up a notch or two in intensity. And as you said, Stewie, there's Brett Backwell.
Hardly sighted today.
Yeah, hasn't had much of it. Maric down. It ends up with Perry, who's been a good defender. And that's a lovely kick to find Waite. Now Waite's got to go short to Lees, or does he go further to Dolling? He wants to hold on to it. Slipped over. Graham did well. Lees with some assistance, finally got out of a ticklish situation. Slattery in the sun. I think you can't blame him for that. Elstone further down. He'll want that left boot in the middle. They're queuing up. Di Pasquale's got it. They're off on a roll, on a long lead. Down there, here's Lacroix, and he hits him with it. And a free kick to boot. Umpire Gary Fielder didn't pay the mark. He paid the free kick against Smith for a push. Lacroix. Short kick, just the 15, and floating down was the skipper in Mark Clayton. And with this kick, somehow Port Adelaide can hit the lead.
I'd back him in from here. He hasn't had his kicking boot on, like we said, but he's got the set shot to turn it around, and no better opportunity.
Well, he's only booted one goal this year, but it's one straight. Mark Clayton from 35 metres out, slight angle. Plenty of elevation. It comes back for a goal. Port are in front for the first time in the match.
And that's what we're talking about. They've got to get the reward for their effort, because no doubt about it, they're going hitting in hard, like Tim Ginniver has said. That's all he wants, hitting hard. The reward will come, and now we're seeing it. They've hit the lead.
Good little chip over, and good running also by Clayton to find some space, Stewie. And he's got to finish those off as well.
Yeah, strong running, and as strong running it as it is, it's a bit slack by the Glenelg midfielder just to push back. Often when players had set shots 45, 50 metres out, you do switch off, you think he's going to have a shot, and at the last minute, the smart players do get in those positions. Tim's got half a smile.
Don't swing the arms! Don't swing the arms!
2 points the margin. Maric over the top. Hinge took it. Maric hit Button hard and perhaps stood on his hand as well. Button getting up, shaking that left hand. And the secondary bounce. Maric again directed it beautifully. They couldn't take advantage, Port. The ball trapped in under there. Maric trying to get it out. Somehow it squirted out to McConnell. Well, he realised he was in trouble. Backwell got it to Button. The big man did well to Douglas. Inside half forward, Douglas directed the kick into the path of Kirkby. He's a left footer, so he's advantaged. His precise kick just falls a little short. Port crowds in. They try and keep it there. Graham, eventually the ball squirts out over the boundary line. 30 metres around from goal.
On the footy, please don't hold.
Lally was that player in the end. Ball just knocked out of his hand. Lookalikes Dolling and Summerton changing over there as Maric tries to direct the ball down. Well read by Lally. Now Hinge and Jeremy Clayton with the tackle. Wait on, and umpire says no, not this time, Jeremy. You've had more free kicks than any other Port Adelaide player this season, but not this time.
Watch the footy, please. Watch the footy.
Close to the Glenelg goal. Maric is winning the taps pretty well at the moment. Carr didn't give it to Perry. Then the boundary umpire got in the way, I think. And it'll be thrown back in. I think he had to get his skates on, the boundary umpire.
I think he had skates on.
Good recovery. Maric is giving him an armchair ride here. If you're a Port on baller, you'd just be sitting there on his hip. Where are you going to put it, big fella? Because I'll be there.
He's got another one. Carr, good tackle by Lally. Forces another ball up. Backwell and Jeremy Clayton fought out. We thought we're going to fight out last year's McGarry medal, but wasn't to be. Backwell the clear winner.
Watch the ball, Mouse. Watch the ball. Not saying who's the ball.
See, there's some pushing and shoving going on off the ball. Maric said, well, if I can't tap it down to a rover, I'll take the damn thing myself and kick it. Wait, clean bowled him. Opportunity for Button. Back to McConnell. He found some space. Will he kick a goal? He loads it up long. Archie's getting back and thumped it through. Umpire's blown the whistle. Free kick in the middle of that pack. And I think it's going against Kirkby. And it's going to the big man in Maric for a bit of a drag off the ball. Yep.
Port going to the far side, looking for some space. That'll be 25. So they'll get a bit of free real estate there with Fisher pulling down his opponent, Biaggi, and now another 25 for blocking his path. And Jeremy Clayton in there and having a few words. The umpire says, hang on, I was going to give you 50, now I'll cut it to 25. Just have another look, just coming over. Biaggi played it well, didn't he? And now Clinch taking his time. Basically, the Tigers have flooded. So he goes long, and Button misjudges. Slattery doesn't. Picks it up, looks around, decides to go back to the left foot of Di Pasquale, then gives him a shepherd. Di Pasquale gets his chance, sets it for Waterhouse. 3-on-1, one of them was Mules, and he just floated across and took the defensive mark. Mitchell, normally a perfect kick. This one, no exception. Floated it nicely into the path of Ruwalt, and the Bays will get away with it.
Ruwalt from half back. Graham gives him a strong lead short, decides to punch it long, but Summerton's got to go here and takes the mark and or free kick. He's got a free kick for being chopping of the arms, I think. A bit of a front-on push. Body contact's going out of it, Stewie.
Yeah, he did well there. He held his ground, but gee, didn't exactly clean him up.
Gives some ground back to Perkins, who's pretty good down back for them in the last couple of weeks. The kick, Murray can't take the mark. Wait, no nonsense. Micklejohn caught one high on the way through, taken by Summerton. Summerton's kick to a 50-50 contest. Oh, Clayton thought he might have been held. No free kick. Handball quickly out of there, ends up with Mules from Kane. Mules is floating kick. It'll favour Biaggi. We know he's good by foot, and he's exceptional here. He could have bombed it long, but he saw Clive in space.
Smart, unselfish play there, and that's a good sign from Port Adelaide Magpies. And Clive really needs to kick this one. Often, you know, he missed that snap on the left, but I think it's important on his set shots that he kicks that first one because he is a confidence player, and if they're to win today, he needs to kick 3 or 4 up front.
Jeremy.
This time last year he had 23. This year he's got 30. 30 goals, 15 to the spearhead.
Just listen for a second. Just listen for a second.
He's still got 30.
Just keep blocking the line, let's go on the mark.
Just got to make the most of those, Port Adelaide. They've been inside 18 to 20, so they need to get some value.
Fisher, value for touches normally from this guy. Last season interrupted by injury. He's been good this season. Off the Bagel alley. He released the ball. Biaggi, centre field Perkins. Perkins can take and go. Breaks, goes to Pasquale. Now Summerton, outside of the boot, Jeremy Clayton. Jeremy Clayton inside 50, kept it low. Wait, it's play on. He wanted to wait, but he didn't. He gave it to Clive. Clive kicks the goal. No. Another miss. It went up. No, it's another goal. Well, I think the crowd was confused. I saw the umpire touch his chest, and I figured, oh, well, he's missed it.
I thought the same thing there, but Clive, here he is. He just, obviously, good run here from Clayton. He's starting to get a bit of the ball, but maybe Clive should play on every time he takes the mark.
Oh, there's definitely that about him, isn't there?
It just always looks like something's going to happen when Clive's in the area. It can be frustrating for the Port supporters, but when he's kicking goals, no one cares.
Interesting they took Daniel Hargraves out. They worked so wonderfully well together. Hargraves just couldn't get a kick without Waterhouse there, but Waterhouse comes back and Hargraves goes to the twos. I just wonder about that.
That's a strange one, yeah. It is a potent forward line, isn't it, with Waterhouse and Hargraves?
Yeah, well, they take a couple of good players to keep them down. Here's Summerton. Summerton drills the kick out to half forward. Opportunity for Jeremy Clayton. Got around Hinge all right, then centred the kick up, but only as far as McConnell. But here comes Lacroix. It was touched. McConnell must have got a fingernail on it. Crowd want a mark. It was touched off the hands of McConnell in the first instant. And the umpire right there on the ball. Let's have a look at this one. It's got to be a touch here from McConnell.
Oh, unlucky. You often see those.
We've had a couple of those, haven't we now? Yeah. With Batson, thought he'd taken the mark, but play on.
Where do we go though? Letter of the law. Let's have a look.
Oh,
do you pay? I think I've seen a lot of those paid. Here's Kane. Out looking for Fosdyke. Biaggi kept it in brilliantly. And he needs to hit a target up now, and he finds Murray. And Murray's got it at half forward for the Magpies.
Murray looks around, goes for Lacroix, couldn't pull it down, but then he got the crumb, fed it off, Slattery, and Slattery snap astray.
He's
impressive, pushed the margin to 10 points, though.
He's impressive, Lacroix. He's just a smooth mover. He doesn't look very rushed. I'm pretty sure he looks like he'd be a pretty relaxed sort of bloke.
Just your type of guy, Stewie.
Exactly. I'll have a beer with him after the game, maybe.
Premiership in 2000, Stewie, with Centrals?
Yes, great day, that one. Good memories.
They've not looked back since that point in time. Here's Sherwood. He's got to look back because he's got a problem. And he finds his skipper in Mills, so he's out of trouble. Hinge has got to keep his eye on the ball. Clayton goes high. Didn't infringe. That was lucky. Carr taken to the line. And that's okay. And if you're playing rugby, that'll be a wonderful try over the line by Tommy Carr. There's Jeremy Clayton. A lot of people thought he'd win the McGarry last year, but a little bit of back chat cost him, I think. Mickeljohn roves his own ball, and Fisher with a front-on tackle. And a ball up.
Got about a little bit of chat costing Jeremy Clayton. I think he lost a JJ Liston trophy in the VFL as well for the same sort of reason. Mickeljohn, hand pass of sorts. More now, crowds in on Pasquale, who, he fed it to Murray nicely, just couldn't get away. And it's a free kick. Maybe just a little bit after the play. Fisher will take the free kick as we just get another look at this. Wasn't much in that. So, the 2005 best and fairest for the base. Takes the kick, drops it in short. Kirkby with the lead up. Looks infield, nothing much on there. Summerton's covered it off for Port Adelaide. Down the line, Moore. So a slow build up for the Bays. They led by, well, 16 points early in the quarter, very early in this quarter. Now they trail by 10. Up towards half forward, two grabber. Umpire says, yes, that's good enough. Kirkby swings away on the left foot. Didn't go for McConnell. Instead went to the goal face. Seller by himself. How does that happen, Stuart Dew?
A smart play there. There's a lot of Port players with their hands on hips, pointing fingers at each other, but that's what happens. When the ball's coming down, often you get caught in the mentality of, I've got to zone this area, and this is my area, that's your area. So I'm not sure if I like the tactic, because it does little things like this happen. Someone will mark it and everyone will be looking at each other. Whose man is it?
James Seller should kick this from 20 metres out, bring the margin back to 4 points. And then we'll discuss zones. Seller kicks the goal. 4 points the margin. Bays will be happy with that. Stewie, if somebody comes into your zone, surely you've got to take them.
Exactly, but that's where the finger pointing could come into it, because where does the zone? There's no lines out there, and footballers can be a little bit simple at times, and if there's no lines there to tell them that's their zone, quite often they do get caught out.
And the next tactic maybe from somebody like Kevin Sheedy. I'll just get on my home ground. Remember, he famously tied the windsock down at Windy Hill. Well, maybe at Telstra Dome or something, he'll say, let's put some lines on the ground just to make sure you know where you're supposed to go.
Someone's run this one through the paper shredder here at Alberton. Over the top, Kirkby. Glenelg going to run. Here comes Graham. Wobbly old kick. Lees. Seller again. Celebrate, James. You've kicked a couple in a row. Good roving by the big man.
You read it well. He come from behind, just snuck around the front. That's the importance of those centre breaks that Glenelg are getting. They're getting goals from centre breaks, and that's important because Port have got the two big men who are dominating in that space back there. So the more they can get from their centre bounces, the better.
Just a couple of minutes ago, it was saying that Port Adelaide was up by 10 points. Now look at this. The Bays are back in it. Big switch around. Meiklejohn, lovely tap down to Summerton. Been impressive in his first full season in SANFL football. Elstone and Di Pasquale work it. Now inside forward 50, Mules across the front. Waterhouse toe pokes it into the open space. Mules follows up. Lovely. Good work by Mules. Got it to centre wing. First there will be Murray. Under pressure from Fisher. Murray can't get it. Fisher can. Takes it to the line. Good contest. Wait on the umpire. Yes. Throw it in. Thanks, boys. Well into time on. Second term. Quarter timer was 15 points in favour of the Bays. Mark Soderstrom mentioning some sort of breeze out there favouring the right of screen. The Bays are back in front. Button did well. Lowen couldn't handle it. Now Bianchi forward of the play. Now Carr. Inside 50, he goes for Waterhouse. On the lead. He'll want to play on, you'd think. Big Clive has a look. Waits. Decides on a set shot. Do you trust him?
As long as he takes a couple more steps. His last set shot when he missed, he took 2 or 3 steps, so it's good to see. He'll get a little bit of momentum because obviously he knows he's got to kick the distance.
Best performance in 07 has been 8 goals against the Bays in round 7. He hasn't added to his goal tally of just 1 this afternoon with that kick.
He should have played on.
We see you coming down here during the week, Stewie, doing a bit of work with these blokes. Or that you couldn't do that as a form of
no, definitely
doggy,
not.
could you?
I could go out to Elizabeth and help them with their goal kicking out there, but they don't need it.
No, they don't. There's a fair old whoosh, the half back. And Waterhouse can't keep it in along with Benny Mules. Boundary throw in, 26 minutes gone, right into time on. You think there wouldn't be too much time left in the first half of football. Button. Douglas working hard in a confined space. Hit Jeremy Clayton right in the solar plexus, and he was dealt with after he'd got rid of it illegally. Gee, if Port can get another goal, I'll go into half-time with something, and there's the man that has the assignment. Is it mission impossible for James Meiklejohn from 15, because he's not the most reliable man we've seen?
Yeah, if I was one of those little fellas, I'd be just tapping him on the shoulder, so handball here, big fella.
Meiklejohn kicks it behind. And where's that little man? Where is he? Tapping away.
Oh, smart players do those things.
I can remember. Stewie Jew, he was tapping people on the shoulder at 60 metres out. Yeah, give it to me, I'll roost it. Ball back into play. Hinge with the mark. Rivalry round in the SANFL. Port against Glenelg. At full time, we'll have all the highlights from the grand finals between these two clubs from 1977 onwards. But right now at half-time, the Bays would be pretty happy. In fact, both sides would be pretty happy. Look at that scoreline. 6-2-38 for the Bays and Port Adelaide 5-8-38. So it's all square at half-time here at Albert. And Stewie, just take us through those goal kickers.
Thanks, Neil. We've got the goal kickers here for the Port Adelaide Magpies. Clayton, Batson, Biachi, Waterhouse, Slattery, all with one each. And a couple of multiple goal scorers for the Glenelg Football Club. Mitchell, Seller with two each. And Moore and Douglas rounding it out with singles.
And just as we look through those stats, Glenelg across the season have less possessions than any other side, but they've used them pretty well this afternoon.
They've been quite efficient, and when I think that comes with the run. They really do carry the ball from down back, and Port are trying to stop that. At times they've been good at it, at times bad, and when it haven't, they've made them pay.
And so what's the story from the rooms?
Well, I can tell you, no injuries to be worried about at the moment, but the big thing for Port Adelaide has been how inaccurate they are. They've kicked 5 goals, 8 to date, and missed some very, very gettable chances. Here's Waterhouse now. That's his bread and butter. He should kick that. Here's another one. James Micklejohn misses as well. Now, those chances should be put down, and Timmy Geneva not happy at all. Now, during the week, he watched the video of the game against Sturt. Port went down by 27 points last week, had 8 missed opportunities. Today, we've had many others that they could have got, but certainly those two from Waterhouse and Micklejohn are the ones that should have gone through. These from 50 could be kicked, but we don't expect them every time like those first two. So, missed opportunities. They affected Port Adelaide last week. It was 27 points in the end after being 4 points down going the time on. They will hope, and Timmy Geneva will certainly hope after what happened last week, they don't rue those misses that we've already had today.
Absolutely, so does, and they're actually ranked 7th across the league in terms of accuracy, Port Adelaide. So they've got a little bit of catching up to do. Timmy Geneva, he's got a few thoughts, I'm sure, on how to win this game. 4 games in a row they've lost. It's virtually unheard of for Port Adelaide. Yeah,
we were speaking about it before the telecast that we weren't sure when it last happened, but we know Tim Geneva's game plan. He wants them to smash in hard. He thinks Glenelg had a couple of soft wins, so he wants to make it a football game. Glenelg more athletic.
Let's go to the first bounce. Here's Michael Maney.
Crucial third quarter about to get underway. All square, as you were. The first bounce, 38 points apiece. Umpires have been all right today. Hay, Carey and Feeler. Crowd could lift the roof off, you would think, if Port are able to dash away. Doing just that is Jeremy Clayton. Would have got a rev, I reckon, at half-time. Over the back, Smith. Batson, good pressure. Waterhouse, broke clear. Lacroix, saw Elstone. Wonderful spot up, and Elstone was just on his own for a couple of moments. And that's a wonderful spot up, and he gets an opportunity for the perfect start to the third term.
Fantastic square up there to Elstone, and he's got a lovely long left foot kick, so if you're looking to put this one through, it'll be a fantastic start for Port Adelaide.
Lined up very straight. Elstone, the kick doesn't quite make it. There's Murray. He roved it off the pack. Elstone's kick didn't make it, but Murray was there to snap the goal.
Well, I pumped up Elstone with his long kick, and he didn't make the distance from 45 metres out, so he's run down and told Murray that was a set play. But yeah, beautiful crumb. Clive there with the hands out. Beautiful. Look how laid back he is, Lacroix. He just calls a cucumber, squeezed it in. There's that lovely 40-metre kick. Beautiful crumb there.
How did he find it? Just found himself in some space.
Beautiful.
So they lead by that goal. Marich strikes the ball down and rode by Mules, and will get a ball up. Another one. Happens so often. Modern football. Players crowd around. Secondary ball up. Marich, as I mentioned in that first half, giving his players an armchair ride. McConnell emerged from the pack, off to Mules, inside 50. Marking contest was no contest at all. A mark for Clayton. Goes to the wing, not the greatest of kicks. Mules intercepted in front of Waite. Now to Kirkby, a left footer. Inside 50 just. I wouldn't have thought the distance would be a worry from Mitchell. It'll be an issue of whether there's anybody else he can pass it off to. And he's decided, well, it looks like, he's going to settle down and have a long shot at goal. One of the many players that's come across from the VFL. He played with Werribee over there. And he kicks from 55. And he's a stray, yes, just a minor score.
5 metres, guys, 5 metres out.
Just for Port Adelaide, we can see James Micklejohn, one of the culprits who missed a goal in the first half. In the middle, Steve Summerton, whose third quarter last week, Tim Ginniver labelled as his best for the club, so he'll be keen to get back on, and with him also Mark Dolly.
Speaking of marks, here comes Clayton. Punishing kick inside 50 at the back. Waterhouse picks it off Rudolph. The handball brilliantly on. It'll end up with Murray. He's got a couple. And there's that man again. Involved Lacroix, but what a play by Clive.
Beautiful play by Clive. Well read over the back. Knew it was just going to float that little bit longer. Beautiful kick by Mark Clayton. As you see here, Clive just read it well. Probably could have gone the spoil, but he's grabbed the mark. Good awareness there, the handball. And Murray's on the end of another one. There's a little bit happening in the middle there with Jeremy Clayton put someone on their backside just as they were coming back together.
A brilliant transition. And now Fisher, McConnell. De Pasquale, McConnell smothered. De Pasquale's direct opponent backward, crowding in. Elstone came over the top, free kick.
You can't do it now. You can't notice the head.
Colourful descriptions there of Daniel Elstone, what he thought of the decision. Backwell on the lead, Plant slides in, takes the mark. Good lead from young Plant. And Backwell with the disposal was spot on.
There's your angle. Mark's there.
Robert Plant, there's one for you. Come on, Neil. We had the Dan Fogelberg and the...
What is it? I am in league with whatever it is anyway.
Got a leader there.
It's the interchange there as Plant lines up and he'll kick from just on 50. Gives it everything he's got. It's made it. It's a goal. Well, Bay's very happy to get one back. They have been challenged already by a couple of goals from Murray for Port Adelaide, and Plant gets one back.
It's a great finish there by Plant. He's the 19-year-old. He's bombed that one away from about 55 metres out. Nice strong lead up. Glenelg, like we said earlier in the first half, they've got to make the most of these centre breaks. Oh, that's probably the 4th or 5th goal I think they've got within, you know, a minute and a half of a centre break, and that's without the Port ruckman back there, and that's when they're playing their best footy.
Rob Plant continuing on from his Everton Latouche last week, kicked 4 goals. Plenty of talent in the family. Brother Tom plays cricket for the Redbacks.
Some of the top ball winners in the first half. Chris Kendall, our stats man.
Yeah, Jeremy Clayton 17 leading on the ground, De Pasquale and Elstone 14 apiece. For Glenelg, Moore 11, Mules and McConnell 10, Backwell only 7.
Only 7 to Backwell. He's had a couple of possessions in this third term, but that's been a pretty good job by De Pasquale. Backwell under 7 possessions for over a half a footy.
He's done well, and Mark Micken has reacted. He's put Backwell onto Clayton, so hopefully Clayton can take him to the ball.
Fisher wrapped up by Elstone.
So what you'll see at the boundary throw-in or ball up, Clayton will get picked up by Backwell and De Pasquale will follow. So they're going to get a bit of 2-on-1 action.
Stuart Dew, our expert commentator. Taken by Slattery. Murrich lopes forward, looks for Waterhouse. Good kick. He can't take the mark. Disappointing. Murray, who's kicked 2 goals, slung in the tackle, and that is with very, very hard hands, Clive Waterhouse.
He had the iron gloves on then, but beautiful skills from the big man. He laced him out, and Clive let him down.
The umpire's blown the whistle. It's got to come back. They're going to throw it up this time. Poor bounce. He'll throw it up. Just as Glenelg were going away. Fisher couldn't get it. Rudolph. In goes Elstone. The old don't argue. Goes back, Di Pasquale, squeezes the kick out. Here's a chance for young Clinch. Can he bend it round his body? He kicks A behind. Oh, he pretty hurriedly got that onto his boot for a young player, Stewie.
He did, and he's that quick. He probably could have had the awareness to step inside. As you see here, he's maybe could have taken him on and opened up the goal face a little bit more, and very disappointed.
Kicked 5 goals in the reserves last week, so he knows where they are.
It would have been his first goal in league football, so
Would have been.
hopefully he gets one today.
Smith and Batson just decided to take a tumble in front of the umpire, said yes. The hands were there. Let's have a look. They couldn't quite see it, but I suspect they were. Long kick. Waite is the target. 3-on-1. Murray almost with the rove. Couldn't quite get it. Hinge off to Moore. Waterhouse chased him. Gee, that was a clever kick. He just screwed it around and got 30 metres. Little doubt about the intent there. Jeremy Clayton.
Players on the footy here, please. Play the
Been
footy.
in excellent form this afternoon.
Players on that round the pack, please.
Key to Port Adelaide's day, you would think, along with Clive Waterhouse up forward. Rudolph couldn't handle it. Richie Douglas out of there, wide. Kirkby attacked it. And it's over the boundary line in front of the Port Adelaide bench. 6 points the margin. 8 minutes into the third term. It's been quite a clash this afternoon.
Rory Kirkby there, the green mouthguard. Marich, who's dominated the ruck contest, thought he got the best part of that. Fisher, Elstone takes him, and another bounce. Interesting, that one with Clive Waterhouse that he missed so easily. Then the one prior to that just plucked it out of the hands from the back. So beautiful soft hands only moments earlier, but then couldn't take the one in front of his face.
Well, I think he was thinking about what he was going to do with it before he actually got it, and maybe he was thinking about running around, playing on, kicking a goal, but unlucky. But when you got a ruckman that kicks one to you like that, you've really got to swallow.
You do. Doesn't happen very often, but Marich has been on top of his game today. He's been terrific for them, and he's involved here again. Third man up was Douglas. Knocked it away from him. Carr wants the line. Handball down the line. Marich again. Free kick. It'll come back to Marich. It'll come back to Carr, who was ditched, or it'll be a downfield job. Marich looks for Clayton. Can't take the mark. Pinched by Backwell. Good play. Left footer. Kirkby nudged his man out. Try and get it to McConnell. Well played, Carr. Got his body between a couple of opponents in the football and won a free kick. Well played, Tom Carr. Into the centre. Elstone's running for him. Runners on the outer side. One of them Slattery. He's one of the quickest men on the field. He's got to get around. Fosdyke doesn't quite know where to go. Decides to use Di Pasquale. Got a good bounce. Back to Carr. Gets around Moore. Carr spots a man in Mark Clayton. He's right on 50, the skipper. Loads it up. And misses. Poor kick by Mark Clayton. Well, the only decent kick he's had today is when he kicked the goal.
It was disappointing, that one. He had a little bit more time, but should kick those.
Tommy Carr into the fence.
Taking a seat. He's stuck.
Just his feet getting caught up there in the paraphernalia. I think it was our paraphernalia, actually. So the ball down on Port Adelaide. Here's Murray. Released it. Biaggi into open goal. Shane Biaggi finished the job. No. Another miss. They are peppering away unsuccessfully at this stage.
This may come back to haunt them. There's another change down there. There's been plenty of changes happening down there, Mike.
Certainly has. Matty Graham coming onto the ground and Ty Allen having a break. I mean, he's got Tommy Carr in his sights, threw him into the fence, then only moments later just corralled straight into him and crunched him. So I think Ty Allen having a break, and Tommy Carr can breathe easy again.
7 goals, 11, Stewie. This is, and a lot of those 11 have been pretty easy.
Oh, very kickable, like we've seen this quarter, but to have 8 more shots on goal, you should really be 5 or 6 goals up. So Port Adelaide, if they do not win this game, this is where they'll look back on their goal kicking.
Ty Allen on the phone there, getting some instruction. Wonderful mark by Perry, who got it to Di Pasquale. Another short one. So they're just going up in inches at the moment. Biaggi, Lacroix, been impressed with Lacroix, the way he moves around that forward line. Unselfish player. He's a long way from goal. I don't think he'll get the journey. Waterhouse has floated on his own on the flank, and Lacroix hasn't seen him. He has not seen Clive Waterhouse, and Mills is zoning off him and won't go to him. But he's held onto it for a fortnight. The umpire says you've got to play on, and he does so. Forced with a kick. Up they go. No one can take the mark. Douglas uses more. That was an unusual play by Lacroix. Just held on while Waterhouse was in plenty of space. Free kick will go against Tom Carr. It'll go to Matthew Graham.
Just coming over the top, Carr. He was out of control, and we'll have another look. Just an out of control Carr. Bang, just crashing into the back of Graham. Inside forward, 50 they go. Long kick, Kirkby over the top, couldn't take it. Moore at the front with the road. Now to Kirkby, he's a left footer. He'll want to go circling around. Maybe that was why he was worried out of it. He just couldn't get possession, and now we get a ball up. 48 metres around from the Glenelg goal. They need one. And Mark Clayton having a few soft words about perhaps the approach to the ball. Tim Ginnivan on the phone, possibly talking to Mark Micken. Not. Backwell circled around here, can't get possession. Oh, big swing of the ball. That was a golf swing. He's hacked it out of the rough about a metre and a half. Oh, your golf swing, Stewie.
Mitchell's fired up down there. He's ruffling a few feathers.
Well, you know, the territory of the ball. Jeremy Clayton goes after it. Well done by Clayton. Biaggi then found Perry. Perry goes to centre wing into open space for Clinch. Clinch did well, knocked it on. Fisher came at him, or Douglas in fact. Now Hinge. Hinge knew straight away this side of the ground was Moore. On his own, Moore will get a shepherd and run on. Murray was shepherded away well by Button. Moore drives it up to the goal face. And good safe mark, Perry. Kirkby was angry, just couldn't get purchase on the ball.
Oh, Lees is about run down. It falls to Mitchell. Mitchell can kick it from here on a snap. He loads it up. It floats. It floats across the face of goal. Did Clayton take it? I think he did. Just inside. He's a pumping kick, is Mitchell. Couldn't quite get the journey there. Carr wants to switch play to the opposite side to Biaggi. On the end of this chain is Slattery, and a clean bowls him. Here's an opportunity for Kane, the former Hawthorn player. Squares it up. McConnell couldn't hold on. Had to crawl all over Perry. He was pushed. Advantage rule. Perkins kicks to the wing. Mark Clayton's found some space. How did he get there on his own? Sums it up. Short kick chopped off by Clayton. Well played, Lacroix off the hands. Back to Clayton. Had Murray in space. Decided to go to Di Pasquale. Murray still got some space in the centre of the ground. Got a call from Lees. Lees runs forward and then kicks, looking for Waterhouse, who needs a run at it. That's a poor kick, Daniel Lees. And it's easily chopped off by Hinge. Ordinary play. And on the rebound, here comes Sherwood.
Sherwood's got Fisher free. Spent it before he got it. Now he takes it inside 50 with a kick. Archie, the human glove, just couldn't get there. And a good lead out and a mark taken by Seller. Out there it is, Seller.
Without line now. Jimmy, yeah, it's with your line. He's on his mark now.
Seller, who kicked two in a space of a couple of minutes in the second term. And the Bays really want a good shot from here. Three-quarter time, we'll have the highlights of last night's opening to rivalry round. Norwood against Sturt at the parade. The Double Blues successful by 10 goals. That's in three-quarter time. Here's Seller. Kicks from 49. Kicks beautifully. Does it make the distance? Yes. Just a stray, minor score.
A couple of contrasting styles with the movement inside 50. Waterhouse actually led the wrong way for a left footer, and then Glenelg obviously hit the target. Now on their left, you just got to run out to that side.
First miss to James. So what about the Lees kick going back a little bit earlier? Kick to a 3-on-1 contest, and Waterhouse was nowhere near it.
Definitely, he led back into the congestion. If Waterhouse had to lead, I know it's wide, but when they're under the pump, there's sometimes you have to do that, especially when Glenelg got the numbers back.
Here's a chance for Mark Clayton. Desperately got it to Dolling. Dolling's handball's a beauty. It went to Di Pasquale. Here's the 2-on-1. Here's Lacroix at the back. Well done by Rudolph. Knocked it away. Here's the speedy clinch. Can he get it? The handball away is okay to Summerton. Summerton's kick. High. Well done, Sherwood. Oh, he was off too. The umpire said no. He hadn't gone far enough. I think he'd gone. Stewie, tell us all about it.
I thought the umpire caught him on then, and then he had pity on him for making the wrong decision, but he'd gone too far.
Oh, there's a free kick. Too high. Crowd getting involved. Free kick against Jeremy Clayton.
Let it go. Let it go.
The too high. Stewie, what about this one?
Let's go.
Bit front on.
I think you've got to let that one go. I think that was a good tackle.
Well, they watch Jeremy Clayton like a hawk, and they listen for everything he says, and he's only got to open his trap once and he's gone, and I think that's 50,
That's
isn't it?
50, yep. I noticed Benny Moore was in there quickly because he realised, that was a bad hand pass. And now it's a turnover. And now Clayton's got it. And if he spots up, listen to the cheer. Waterhouse. Lacroix's on the lead, nothing behind him. Waterhouse is going to hold it up. He's going to have to hold it up. Lacroix leads again. His Marcus Smith comes to him. Elstone's a left footer. Bays have players back. So he spots up centre corridor. Well done. Batson. Batson around. And off he goes. And now forced a hand pass. Murray, nicely done. Biaggi, can he convert this time? No, he's done it again. Same distance. Biaggi at the 10-minute mark. Missed from that sort of distance. And at the 18-minute mark, he misses again. Let's have another look.
Just felt the pressure coming in from the right-hand side. Disappointing. I mean, he's had a great game. If he could have kicked a couple more goals, he'd be best on ground by absolute mile.
They are kicking themselves out of it, Port Adelaide. Perry buffeted off the ball by Mules. That was legal, according to the umpire. Rudolph, handball over the top. Kirkby inside the Fosdyke. He's got to put them in, and he does. The loose handball. Here's Fisher. Fisher from 35. Kicks a goal. They made them pay. Biaggi misses. And the old transition game goes, and Fisher delivers.
Exactly. The game has been a little bit like basketball. Glenelg have been playing the outer wing, Port Adelaide playing down here, but gee, there was some pace there from Fosdyke. Took him on, well done. Just felt the car, got the tackle, but great finish by Fisher. I think they're the ones when you've had all the ball and then the opposition go down, bang, and kick a goal, their shoulders slumped a little bit. So important now for Port Adelaide to get one back.
Yes, young Jack Fosdyke did well. His uncle is Duncan Fosdyke, the Norwood Premiership player. He made the move after playing 17s and 19s at Norwood across to the Bays this season. Here's Biaggi out of the middle. He's always been a magpie. Down towards half forward. Looked like Batson was in the back of his opponent. Mules put his head down. Now Sherwood makes the tackle. Elstone was the victim. Just going to look at Lally and a couple of others here on the Bays bench. Graham. Tight contest. 2 points to margin. Taken out of there and just belted forward by Meiklejohn. Rudolph should be first to it. Gets a nice bounce. Steadies. Down to centre wing. Good kick for Backwell. In the back, surely. No, said the umpire. Play on. Brilliant pace from Douglas. Released it now. Here's Backwell. Backwell's vision. Oh, he just couldn't execute properly. Clinched the other way. Murray wanted to distribute quickly. Waterhouse, the look away, missed his target. Now Murray, Backwell came late. Umpire said play on Slattery. Slattery looks up. Inside 50, beautiful kick. Lacroix on the lead up again. Lacroix squares it. Summerton was aware he had another player outside in Dolling. He's missed the target. Dolling under pressure from Rudolph. Got around, left foot, looks for Summerton. Summerton pulls down the mark. 25 out. Important shot on goal, this one. Port Adelaide under pressure. They lead by 2 points.
It's where the senior players should get across and just tell him, steady, son. Make sure you kick the goal. We need this one. But if he misses it, it really does deflate the side after great build-up. Slattery's a smooth mover.
Yep.
They've had some great victories over the years. Port Adelaide over Glenelg. And Summerton gives them the chance of another big victory.
Good finish there. Good finish there by the young man. Mark Williams used to call them the money men, the people that kick the goals when you really need them. They're worth two. So it's good for a young guy to be able to kick those pressure goals. They really do. It does just put an extra star next to your name.
Stephen Summerton, who averages around 24, 25 possessions, just had the 8 today. But that's a telling goal. They needed that one because they've been blazing away and missing.
Definitely, you could see the look on his face, and he really, really needed that one and got it.
Go for a secondary ball up.
Michael, Tim Ginnivan just looking for a goal as we get to deep into this third term. Marriage has come onto the ground. Also Clayton, they're both stationed in the goal square.
Third man up was Dolling. Only as far as Douglas. Wrapped up by Summit.
And just stay with us all the way to the end of this match, because we'll have a great package of all the grand final highlights from 1977 between Port Adelaide and Glenelg. They've been fierce rivals for a long, long time.
Free kick went to Mules. An advantage rule was paid, but it didn't advantage them too much. It'll come back to the skipper, Ben Mules. I think his second year as captain of the Bays. Out looking for a Rudolph. And a good acquisition down back for them. Doing some hard running was Fisher. In front of Murray. Adam Fisher. Just a lot of football for the leg injury, the foot injury. Down the line. Finds Kirkby. Rory Kirkby. Well, a number of former Hawthorn players playing today. Seller. From outside 50. James Seller. Kicks it long. Who can take a pack mark? Backwell. Throw it in the boot. Goal! He is one of the cleverest players. He may not have had too many possessions today, but Stewie Dew, when he gets his hands on the football, it's normally constructive.
And that's exactly what they needed. Brett Backwell, great snap for goal there. Like you said, quality players don't need a lot of touches, and just before three-quarter time, that's exactly what Glenelg needed, especially when they've had a little bit of the ball, but Porter probably had the majority of the play this quarter.
Well, he's only had 5 kicks and 5 handballs, but most importantly, that goal before three-quarter time could be telling.
Certainly read the ball well.
Brett Backwell picking up the McGeary medal last season and the best and fairest at the Bays.
Straight up to the foot here, please.
A few years ago also picked up a JJ Liston trophy when he was playing for Carlton in the VFL. Invaluable goal, 2 points to margin. Port Adelaide clinging to the lead, approaching three-quarter time.
Don't hold. Down the pack too, don't
Bays
hold.
bench.
Pull up.
Ball knocked forward. Followed by Allen back there. Fisher under pressure. Kick to centre wing. Bouncing, bouncing. Kirkby should be first there. He is just across the line. The appeal up from Perkins saying it came off his foot, sir.
Eyes on the footy again here, please. Don't hold.
Look, let's see. No, clearly not. A couple of bounces after it hit his foot. And umpire calls for a ball up as Allen doing the appealing, doing his best. How's that?
Straight up here again, please.
So Allen has the job now, running with Jeremy Clayton. Looked like Meiklejohn tried to take that out of the ruck contest. Ruwalt thumped the ground. Elstone latched onto the tackle.
Thank you. He made an attempt.
Still the congestion continues. 25.5 minutes, third turn. Port Adelaide by 2 points over the Bays.
Straight up here.
Well, it's rivalry round, and I tell you what, it's living up to it in this match. So much last night was stirred up by 10 goals. Allen kicks it to the bleachers. Opportunity for Carr, very close to three-quarter time. Another change down there. Young Clinch looks like he's got an opportunity, Mark.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he kicked some goals in the reserves. He's actually a good story. He was playing in the twos at Port. Couldn't get a game early in the year. Got sent to Port Districts. He's now got his league debut. Boy from Sejuna.
Good to see him out here and doing all right in his debut. Archie, who's drifted forward. Just got off Seller for a moment or two. Kicks looking for Clive Waterhouse. Couldn't take the mark. Lacroix did the roving. Brutally through. He got a free kick. No. Against him. Held on to it. Free kick to Douglas. Crowd loves that decision. We'll see Clive go up here, Stewie.
That was amazing. He was up higher than us.
He was.
Look at that.
Three-quarter time. And wouldn't it have been fitting if Waterhouse had have held on to that mark and went back and kicked a goal and kept the Maggies well in front. 8-12-60. They lead Glenelg 9-4-58. Boy, oh boy, this one is going to go to the wire.
Definitely will. It's to set the scene for the last quarter and can't wait.
No, Clive Waterhouse, gee, he was so close, wasn't he, too? One of the marks of the year, and certainly at three-quarter time, it's all set up, isn't it? As we look at that, 8-12-60 plays 9-4-58. Murray with 2, and Mitchell and Seller, the multiple goal kickers for the Bays this afternoon. Through those stats, and we know that the kick dominates for Port Adelaide. Only Central District handballs less than Port Adelaide.
Well, another key stat there is obviously the 12 behinds, and that's been the disappointing part of Port Adelaide Magpies. And let's hope that it doesn't cost them the game, because they really do need this to stay in touch with the 5.
SANFL right here. We've got a really interesting clash on our hands. Mark Micken's been talking to his players. Let's have a listen in the Tiger huddle.
If it's in your vicinity, where are you, Benny Mills? Yeah, if it's in your vicinity, let's look at going third man up and play it laterally more so. So you blokes around the ball be ready and be reading it to run onto it, okay? Let's get some breaks away from those stoppages, because if we can get a third man in the air, we can get a clear break from a stoppage, which we're really struggling to do at the moment, okay? All right. We're still right in this contest, boys. We started to get a little bit of ascendancy back in the last quarter, just by getting a little bit of attack going over our back line. We've got to get our game going. A good effort to go to take them on. We want to see you do that, Fozzie. That's why you're in the side, to take them on with your speed. So don't be afraid when you get hold of it to really go, because you've got fresh legs, I reckon, and I reckon you've got plenty left in you. We can rely on you this quarter. Okay, we're going to really need you. All right? But when we get hold of the footy, boys, it's the first give. We had only 15 handballs received, but most of them were later when we started to get a little bit of ascendancy again. And they've really spent a lot in playing hard footy on us, all right? They've really spent a lot. Now, I know, if you remember, last week, we kicked 10 goals in the last quarter, boys. We've got plenty left. We've got plenty left. We know we've got plenty left, so have some confidence going into this last quarter. We've got plenty of run in our legs. What we have to do is be really in the stoppages. Be prepared to have stoppage after stoppage. Let's employ the third man up. When we get a break from stoppages, if you're in the area around there, be prepared to be arm across and then go. Let's get the corridor.
Well, there's Mark Micken's words of advice there at three-quarter time over at the Port Adelaide huddle. Tim Jennifer has called on his players to kick the first 2 goals of this term. He believes that if they get those 2 goals, that Glenelg will fall like a pack of cards, which were his words. He pointed out an effort by Mark Clayton on the outer wing. Committed, stood under the ball, got hit and took the ball. He said that's the difference between the 2 sides, that we're committed and they're not. He said that this quarter coming up is their most important quarter of the season. It will define their season.
Rivalry round, what a match. Michael Maney.
All set up, just a couple of points the difference. Interesting to hear from both coaches there. We'll watch for Ben Mules, the third man up. We'll watch for them to be strong around the stoppages, Glenelg. Booted 10 goals in the last quarter. Can they repeat the dose and pull away from Port Adelaide? It has been an even contest, 36 inside 50s to 33 in favour of the Magpies. They've turned that around a little bit from earlier in the game. Here we go. Button. Up against Marich. Marich got it down. Kick out of the centre. Lacroix. Opportunity for Port Adelaide. Can they score? From outside 50. Hits it long. Kept in by Summerton. Pounces on it again. Gives to Murray. Has he got 3? He has! He booted goals at the 1 and 3 minute mark of the third term. And he's got one within 30 seconds in the last.
It's a great opportunist goal. We see the ball come in here. Lacroix was having a shot for goal there. Ball, always keep the ball alive, and it was well played there by, I think it was Summerton, kept it in. It's gone through the Glenelg player's legs. Rudolph, bit of a nutmeg there, but Summerton followed up. Beautiful snap for goal. He's excited, and so he should be. He's kicked 3.
Plenty of problems for Port Adelaide here, despite the fact they've just kicked the goal. Clive Waterhouse has just limped from the ground. He's in a fair bit of trouble here. We'll see the doctor, Mark Rafe, having a look at him. We'll get back to you in a moment just to see. It looks like it could be the left knee.
Left knee, well, he's been out with a hamstring strain. So that's bad news for Port Adelaide just at this stage. Here's Kane, picked it up, immediately was in trouble. Slattery was with him, got it to Sherwood. Nicely done, Sherwood too. into the centre corridor. Button. Pressure from Murray. They were good enough to get away. Hinge through the corridor with a hand pass. Awkward bounce. They'll get away with it. Fosdyke. Fosdyke, plenty of room in front of him. Decides to go long of the right foot. Beautiful kick. Well done by Mitchell. Read it best and earliest. Just have a look at Clive coming off the ground, looking towards the bench. So there's a straight away an indication that this was not a plan. Saddles will have the word from the bench very soon as Mitchell lines up. He'll kick from 50. He lays back. It's a beautiful kick and the margin back to 2 points.
That's his third for the day. He's got a really powerful leg, Mitchell. Beautiful finish. Clive getting that knee tested out.
That must be some wonderful moments for you, Stu. When you've got a problem with your knee and then the physio's got to go through that testing and you're just hoping, no pain, please no pain.
Exactly, and I mean, they keep going until they do find something sometimes, but it depends on how far they twist it.
Back to 2 points, the difference. Free kick in the middle will go to Jeremy Clayton against Backwell for a push, and 25 against the McGarry medalist. The two number 2s. I think they just get to about 6'6" between them. Clayton's kick is a wobbler off the boot. Lacroix, hard working. Sherwood taken to ground by Lacroix. Flicked out the back to Moore. Kane can't collect it. Di Pasquale, desperation. He just crawls to the football as we tick into 3 minutes.
Straight up, please. Straight
In
up.
fact, that might have been Fisher over there. He's got the binoculars on.
Straight up to the footy
Tim
in place,
Geneva
guys. Straight up.
watching closely. His team up by 2 points. Micklejohn got it down. Dived on the footy. Must knock it out. Did so. Smith can't go away with the footy. And another ball up. There's Clive Waterhouse, and ice generally means that's it.
That's it for the day for Clive.
Ball up. Far side of the ground. Meaglejohn came through, got it to Elstone, was taken down. Meaglejohn will be a free kick, it'll go back. Umpire said no advantage.
Stop. Stop.
So a free kick, time off, and problems there for Smith going back on the mark. He took his player down. Meaglejohn thumps it high. Slattery the target. One grab, two grabs. Kane brings it down. He's got a runner on this side of the ground, but he opts to go back in front of the scoreboard, which shows that the Port Adelaide Magpies have a lead just of 2 points. They get an opportunity to bang it inside forward 50 again, and Somerton is up in the forward pocket at the moment by himself, but mind you, that's 120 metres off the ball just at the moment. Jeremy Clayton wasn't high, no, said the umpire. Creative hand pass, Lacroix. Lacroix, what's his accuracy like from 25 metres? Oh dear, he's missed everything. Oh, well, his best performance so far this season, Fred Lacroix, was 4 goals. And at this rate, he doesn't look like adding to his tally this afternoon.
Just a bit disappointed too, if you can lip read. Maric close to the line, and Button desperate to get him to ground. Is that sometimes an instruction? What would Mark Williams say? If you get him,
Oh, dump him.
hurt him.
That's a must.
And that man will be hurting that he can't be out there. Maric down. Free kick will go to Douglas. Cop one in the back from Somerton. Only just there, you'd think. Really drawing straws there. Richard Douglas. What's his stats been today, Chris Kendall? Richard Douglas.
Douglas, 9 kicks, 4 handballs.
Been productive with most of those, you'd have to say. Pack of players right on the wing. Right in front of Mark Solis from our boundary rider there. What's the feeling down there, Mark?
Yeah, plenty of interest in the game. Obviously, the crowd is pumped up. Very chilly now that the sun's starting to set. But tough contest. I think Port Adelaide just edging ahead at the moment, looking the goods.
Well done by Maric and Di Pasquale in there tight. Down to half forward goes the ball. Knocked out the back, Sherwood. Released the hand pass for Douglas. Murray with the tackle. Umpire said illegal. Crowd goes up.
Contact wing defence.
Douglas had the ball knocked away there from Fisher. It was roved by Hinge and down to half forward. Now the other way comes Port Adelaide through Archie. Or Carr wasn't expecting it. Did well to gather it in, was taken late. Umpire will say play on advantage. Biaggi streams through the centre square. Along he goes. Smith thought it was going over the back. Lacroix said no, it's not.
Lacroix did put about 5 metres on his man then, and he was just in cruise mode, but he stuck the big mitts out. This is a must-need goal.
Christian Pasquale just struggling maybe with a leg there as Lacroix lines up, stabs at the ball, happy with the result. So are the Port fans. They kick away to an 8-point lead again.
Port Adelaide fans are waving their flags, and rightly so, because Mark Micken said at the three-quarter time break that Glenelg would have a lot of run and Port would be sore from smashing into them. But as you've seen in this last, probably 5-10 minutes, Port Adelaide have got more run. Glenelg look a bit stale. They look a bit tired, a little bit wary, and I think Port Adelaide are finishing hard.
Well spotted, Neil. Christian Pasquale did get a knock in the left calf. He's a little bit tender, but he's going to push on. He's gone back into the centre of the ground.
8 points the difference. The Lacroix goal, he's been peppering away. He's been kicking them out of bounds in the full and missing them and shanking them, but he finally got one when it counted. Slattery to Tom Carr, who's been a tireless performer. Got under the kick. Murray worked his way in front. Hinge did all right to knock it away. Here's Slattery again with pace and skill to Dolling. Thought about it short. Decided to go to Summit and his twin. Can he collect the football? Goes back after it. Dived on it. Desperate to get it back out. Mules. Loose handball. Kane. Away to Smith. The crowd of 3,500 people. Cheer as Salah gets mown down by Elstone. 3,560 here today. What a rundown by Elstone.
Fantastic tackle. Coaches love those ones. They really do turn the tide of the game.
In the meantime, Murray, who's booted free, has got it from right on 50. Wonderful start to rivalry round. 7,000 odd last night, 3.5 here. They're up to about 11,000 for 2 matches. Here's Murray. Will take a good kick. And it is a good kick. He has 4. Here come Port Adelaide. They're out by 14 points.
Where was this goal kicking early in the game? They'd be up by 15 goals by now, but Murray has done well. I think 4 goals, 0. So it hasn't been his fault that they've had poor kicking. Maybe they should get the ball in his hands more often. He looks quite sure of himself. He knows where the goals are. He's kicked the snap goal, a set shot, so he's doing everything at the moment.
And he'd kicked 1 goal for the year before today, Stu. That's amazing, isn't it?
He'll sleep well tonight, that's for sure.
He will.
After he's watched the replay about 5 times.
Glenelg has won the past 2 games against Port Adelaide, but importantly now, have a look at this. Port Adelaide has won the past 15 against the Bays here at Alberton. It is a place where it's hard to win anyway, but when you haven't won in that long. Wow. Ruwalt on the snap. Do they get one back? No. Just the minor score. Bays fans hang their heads. They're starting to think, gee, it's 10 minutes into the final quarter. Can we get back from here?
Here's Biaggi. He's not stopped running all day to Elstone, who's been terrific for them too. Cuts through the centre of the ground and puts it out in front of Summerton, who can't take it. Here's Clinch. Can he clinch the deal? He can't. He kicks a pretty wide one on the full, but he looks a likely type, the young man.
As a player, you don't mind them. When you're having a shot for goal, you'd almost rather it go out of bounds on the full than a messy point, because it doesn't go against your name.
Plant warming up for Glenelg. Up goes Micklejohn, knocks it back inside forward 50. Fisher with a bit of work to do here. Wants to switch it to the outer side. Finds his man. Ruwalt has got it delivered by Fosdyke. Ruwalt to Allen.
Allen on centre wing, squints into the setting sun. Has a look, nothing much in front of him. Kane points down the line. Go to Sherwood, he says. He decides to go over his head longer. Down to half forward, Hinge from the side. At the front, McConnell. Doesn't look like kicking 6 goals this week. He's kicked 6 goals the last 2 weeks. Umpire calls, bounce.
Opportunities, take the straight away.
He's got a clean sheet, McConnell too. Nothing at all.
So ball down at half forward for the Bays. Hinge over the top. That's what they talked about at 3/4 time. Trying to get players running off forward of the play. McConnell was thumped late and high to the umpire. Lees was the man who came in. It's now down behind play. And Hinge not well. In fact, neither is Backwell. Hinge actually looks like he might be struggling for breath. He's taking his time. He was the man who came over the top, and clearly, he's pointed at his throat. Centering kick, Richard Douglas. He's got exquisite skills. You'd back him here from 40 metres out. Hinge is back on his feet, but he's clearly struggling there. He might have got one in the Adam's apple. Trachea.
The journals come out again.
And just getting that direction, getting their hands up behind their head, see what breath you can get into the lungs. Richard Douglas, meanwhile, takes a deep breath, steps up to the plate. Oh, beautiful. Great finish from the young man, and they're still in it, the Bays. They get the margin back to 7 points.
He's a class act, Douglas, and like we said, I was a little bit surprised to hear that he hadn't had as much of the ball what we thought, but that's because every touch he has does count. But there we see Hinge, he's got that one right in the throat. You never like to see a player get hit in the throat, and he's coming from the ground as we speak. It can be quite nasty.
There's Hinge. Let's hope there's nothing too wrong with him. Back to 7 points. Murray at the bottom of that. Cop one too high. Booted 4 goals, Murray. He won't kick one from there, but he'll get it to Lacroix. Over the back clinch. Rudolph kept his feet. Needed to use his left. Got it to Ruwalt, whose kick needs to be precise, and it is. Kick forward, Perry. Well, they lost Baird last year, but they picked up this bloke, and he's been pretty good for them. Perry.
Very reliable down back.
Joel Perry. In short. Carr. On the mark, number 26. Rory Kirkby. A little bit of sideways stuff probably going to happen here as Glenelg push numbers back. Perry says, come on, give me something. Giving him something is the tireless Lacroix. He must be absolutely exhausted. Clever enough to get out of it. Murray. Back to Perkins. Perkins kicks to a 2-on-1, but Archie's the one and never back him out of a contest. Lovely mark. I think he was pretty lucky to be paid, but just slipped out of the fingers, but the umpire said he'd done enough. Corey Archie centres it up. Good mark taken by Sherwood. He'll clear.
Ever reliable Sherwood, a defender just like this man Archie, who has caught well forward of the play. That was a mark apparently. Here's Sherwood through the centre corridor. Brilliant kick. Well done by Smith. Now he goes long. Lee's out-positioned his man McConnell, the shorter McConnell. That kick needed to be better. Lee's did brilliantly. And now he clears to the far side of the ground. He's got a loose player in Dolling. Dolling looks up, just waits, signals that he wants the lead up to come. He's got a player wide in his twin Summerton. Missed the under-18 National Carnival last year, did Stephen Summerton. Wasn't selected for South Australia. This year he's proven himself in league company. The under-18 Carnival, of course, starting this weekend with Division 2 games. South Australia starts its campaign next weekend. In fact, I think earlier today the provided some opposition for our state under-18 side. Ball down to half forward for Port Adelaide. And Clayton taken over the line, the skipper Mark Clayton. There's a little murmur coming through the crowd. And that is John Hinge, who we saw earlier caught one in the throat, and clearly he's struggling, maybe with a constricted trachea. As great tackle there, good desperation by Sella, just knocked it clear of the ever desperate Di Pasquale. So a free kick for Glenelg, and as you saw, Di Pasquale really struggling, and his direct opponent in Backwell got a kick.
Well picked up, Neil. Fosdyke from the wing. Free kick surely will go to McConnell against Lees. It'll have to come back. 7 points the difference in favour of Port Adelaide. If they concede a goal here, we're back to a 1-point ball game. McConnell could never kick it from there, but important kick. See who he can spot up. The kick, looking for the big man Button. Doesn't hit him. Here's Douglas. He's dangerous around goals, but he can't kick one. Oh, he just needed a little bit of Stewie Dew magic there, and he'd have got that one.
Once again, though, he probably could have walked in. We have another look at Hinge. Straight in the back of his own teammate. It's nasty. But he could have steadied up there. He probably lacking a little bit of voice around the contest.
Could we have another draw? We saw one between North Adelaide and South Adelaide at Prospect in the wet earlier this season. 1 goal of difference at the moment. Here's Murray for Port Adelaide, a true centre-half back. Wide for Di Pasquale. He's still running. He almost stopped, though, didn't he? Down to half-forward, great kick clinch. Did well, the young man. Over the top he goes. And Elstone under pressure. Took the mark on the right side for a left footer. Stuart Dew will talk us through how easy this shot will be for Daniel Elstone.
Well, it's not a bad pocket down there, so he's just got to go back. He might try and open up the angle a little bit more, but that's a good, strong mark. The ball probably had a little bit more flight than what Clinch really meant for him, but just settle down. They need this. Port have got to be careful here. I'm just noticing they're going a little bit defensive now. They got out to that lead, but they've really got to keep attacking.
We'll get a good angle as we swing around on this camera now. Have a look. It looks like it's narrow. Of course, it was very narrow on that kick, wasn't it? You saw the goal umpire fleeing across to his left.
Very narrow. Those ones there, you just want to pop it up inside the left-hand goal post and there is a little bit of breeze, just let it do the work.
It's fingernail chewing time for Tim Ginniver. Fosdyke to Moore. Kick around the body. Summerton couldn't take the mark. Taken by Smith. Kirkby couldn't mark. Surely a free kick will go to the Magpies. Just rammed into the back. There's Graham, and is Plant coming back on? So does Plant's back on.
You're right there, Michael. Matty Graham being relieved of his duties for the moment. Robert Plant giving himself a chance to get back on the ground and perhaps kick a goal and get Glenelg home.
The free kick went to Carr, and it ends up with Slattery. Been impressed with him today, his pace, and really has broken the lines. Nowhere to kick forward, so he concedes a bit of ground. It's a bit of excitement from Tim Ginniver. Is this tempo football?
This is, and it doesn't win games of football. They're only 7 points up. There's a good 10 minutes left in this game. They need a couple of goals to win this game because Glenelg are finishing fast.
Here's Clinch. Can he keep it in the field of play? Just off the hands. Boundary throw in. It is tight. It's a 7-point margin as we tick into time on in the last quarter. Neil Cross. Over to you. This could be a grandstand finish.
Stay with us all the way to the end. We'll be having a look at all those grand finals between these two clubs from 1977 on. That will be our closer. Right now, it's really tight. The Bays get out of their defensive area. Elstone was brave. Somehow he came out of that just on his back and not in an ambulance. Perry got it back to Maric. Maric drives it inside 50. Dolling tries to help out his team. In the end, it falls for Dolling. Oh, is that the sealer? No, just a stray. Well, Dolling, if we get another look at this, as the ball came down, he thought, I'll try and just get in front of Sherwood and help my teammate out. Then the ball fell in his hands.
Oh, Glenelg, and they dare to win. They haven't won here since round 16, 1993. There's Tim.
think he was just calling early morning goal kicking practice.
They need it, that's for sure. Backwell starting to collect some possessions late in the game. Plant on the other side of the ground. Still on the wing. Glenelg down by 8 points. Marich couldn't get it. Out it goes. Boundary throw in. Time to set up. There's Ben Moore. All the experience that he has. He needs to muster that along with a few of his mates and kick 2 goals to snatch this game back from Port Adelaide. Another ball up. A lot of tired bodies out there at the moment, Stuart. It's been a pretty intense game from start to close to finish.
Yeah, I think ever since I made the call that it looked like Port had lots of run, they've stopped and they've played safe football. And they're really not breaking the lines as much as they were.
Jeremy Clayton needed to be good. And free kick for a throw. And if he has plenty to say, the umpires are not shy of giving him 25. It goes to the dangerous Douglas, who goes to Kane, who sets it up. Can it be knocked through? It has been knocked through for a behind. Ooh. Tight contest here. Let's have a look.
Ooh. Right where all good rovers should be, and it nearly paid off.
Probably a little lucky there, Glenelg, not to concede 50. I didn't see who the player was who just went through. It might have been Kirkby who just belted that ball after it had crossed the line. And, you know, twitchy umpires, you often see that paid as a free kick down the ground for the kick-in. Well, that by Murray in front of the power headquarters that Stewie Dew knows so well. After Wellstone down the line he goes. A lovely chip pass. Problem was it just belted off the chest of Lacroix. That'd be disappointing for him. He's been so good this afternoon. Backwell steps inside. Fisher's got the hands up. Just fishing for the ball. This side of the ground. Players loose. One of them Button. Button can play on. Can go to McConnell by hand. He does so. McConnell off the left foot. Goes to the goal face. Oh, the bounce! Well, Perry seemed to have it covered. And it just bounced through for the minor score. And Justin McConnell would have been disappointed then when he got the ball. He couldn't line up on the right foot.
Yeah, he definitely looked a little bit nervous and awkward on that left foot, but Button did the right thing and handled off like all ruckmen should, and that's what all coaches I've ever had. They just tell ruckmen, do not kick, you must handle.
Except if you're Brendan Lade.
Except Brendan Lade, obviously.
Yes, you need to qualify that. Perry. One straight kick, it'll be all squared up if Port Adelaide get it. In fact, if Glenelg get it, I should say. McConnell in short. Finds his man in Kane. Kane to Rudolph, the back man. Can he cover himself in glory? He loads up and kicks a goal. Rudolph squares it up at the 24.5-minute mark. And some extra fingernails chipped away from the fingers of Tim Ginnivan.
And Rudolph's been good today. Good square up kick there. Kane's just handled off, and a fantastic finish by the young man. And we've just found out how many Glenelg supporters are here, Michael.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Rudolph with a bit of a Christmas present for Glenelg.
He's reined them in.
And 24.5-minute mark. Let's go back to the 26-minute mark of the second term, the last time that scores were level, and that was the halftime score, 38 points apiece.
Quick stat, fellas, these teams have only played 2 draws in their history.
If I remember correctly, I don't think they've ever drawn here. Ball to ground. Oh, forward they go to Bays. Here's Moore. Moore to 50. Moore just bangs along. McConnell couldn't take it. Archie clever at the back. Archie comes, puts it in the path of Carr. Here comes Backwell. Too high. Backwell ducks again. Wait on the umpire. He says, hold up, Brett. You can take your kick. Brett Backwell at the 25-54. 25-55. We're counting down. There's not too far to go in this match. Oh, you'd like the ball in this guy's hands. Backwell got it to the biggest and best kick you'd fancy in David Mitchell. Mitchell from 60 says, I'll have a crack. He thumps it long. Any score will help the Bays. And they can't get one. Carr wrapped up. Douglas tackles, no call from the umpire. Finally, he blows the whistle. Have a look at the crowd. Tim Ginniver looks pretty composed. There's not much a coach can do at this time, certainly not now. And for the second time this season, we've seen a draw. Look at the players, they don't know what to do. A draw. The first time in the past 100 years here at Alberton that we have seen a draw between these two sides. 3,560 patrons will go away saying, we could have. Not that we did, but we could have.
Well, that's where you talk about the goal kicking. 11-14.
So that final score, yes, 11-14-80. And the Bays in the end finishing with 12-8-80. So 80 points apiece. Tim Ginniver, 4 losses in a row followed by a draw. You would be shattered because at the stage when they started this losing run after they beat West Adelaide in round 6, Port was second. They had 4 wins and 2 losses.
And this is definitely the one that got away. And I must apologise, Jared Polton was just down in front of us here and he asked me how long to go. And I estimated 4 minutes and then the siren went. So I apologise for a bit of false hope there. But Tim Ginniver is shattered and rightly so. That's a disappointing one there. But Glenelg, great finish to come back.
And one of the Bays players, Sam Rudolph, is with Sodas.
Well, Sammy, you played Port round 4 earlier in the year, did a great job on Clive Waterhouse. You had the job again today. It must have been nice to see him disappear a little early before the end of the game.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised. I don't know what happened to him, if he got injured or something, yeah. But it was a good duel.
We had a problem with the knee there. Now, your first goal in league footy here in the SANFL, well, it was a great goal. Got you the 1 point out of that, but very hollow feeling.
Yeah, it is. It just sort of gives you nothing after the game, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a terrific month for you guys with some good wins. The last couple of weeks have been terrific, but obviously today, a little bit disappointing, but you have been playing some quality football.
Yeah, the boys have been around each other, doing really well, attacking football, yeah. But today, Port held us up a bit and didn't let us play the way we'd like to, and yeah, credit to them, yeah.
Well, if you're going to draw some positives out of the game, of course, besides your goal, I think that looking at Port Adelaide, they did have the better of you towards the end there, but you did work back well. So you can keep your head up regarding that.
Yeah. Now, the boys did well to come back in the last quarter, but Port sort of had us the second half, and we were lucky to come away with the draw.
Well, Sam, thanks for having a chat to us. Go in and relax and ice up.
Yeah, cheers.
Sam Rudolph at the 24.5-minute mark of the final term, trailing by 6 points. Bang!
Beautiful stuff. You'd love to see that. And his first goal, and what a way to bring it up. And when there was a draw, I've been involved in a couple of draws, unfortunately. And
some Brisbane, from what I remember.
Yes, definitely. I've tried to erase that one from my memory, but it's still there, and many people tell me about it. But there is a winner and loser in the kind of, those kinds of games. Glenelg will come off and, they drew, but it's the way they drew, and they did fight back, whereas Port, they had the lead, and I called it earlier on towards the end. They were playing safe. They were playing for the win rather than playing the game out and still attacking.
Round 16, 1993, the last time the Bays won here, but they'd be pretty happy, as you say. There are a lot of things they can take out of this game.
Definitely a lot of positives. I think their run from defence was really good. Fisher back there really does play an important role in setting up play. Backwell had a down day, but he did pop up and kick that important goal. So, yeah, I think Mark Micken would be reasonably happy from the way the game went and obviously how many shots Port had on goal.
Well, as we know, Glenelg certainly started the game well. Port Adelaide at home, you'd expect that they would be vicious out of the blocks, especially on the back of 4 losses in a row. Shane Bianchi kicked the opening goal for them, but really the Bays did well in that opening quarter. 4-1-25 to 1-4-10. They led by 15 points at quarter time. We see Bianchi's goal here, and we thought, oh, hello, they're back and running, Port Adelaide.
Yeah, definitely a good goal, and I think he missed another one like that. So if he could have maybe finished with 2 or 3, he had a fantastic game. But like we said, Glenelg got out to the blocks, and I think this was Douglas.
Douglas, yeah, yep. And they kicked the first 4 goals of the match straight.
And that's, that's a great start for this side. They come here, they would have been keyed up to start well. Port Adelaide found napping a little bit, but I think Glenelg can go away with their heads high. I think they played really well, and they've got a young side, so it's all good experience.
Yes, well, it's quite a transition really for Glenelg. A couple of weeks ago, we were thinking, wooden spoon, here we come. They were fighting pretty much Westies for that honour at that stage. They've won a couple in a row, and as we said at the top of the program, if they'd won today, they could actually jump into the 5.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I think they're only half a game behind fifth. So, you know, this shows how even the competition is, and that's why you're getting 7,000 people at a game of footy. You're getting 3.5. I think probably with these 2 games of SANFL football, they're getting more than the whole round in the waffle. So SANFL football is healthy, and why wouldn't you come and see a quality game like today?
Clive Waterhouse with a goal that I thought wasn't a goal, and I think he pretty much thought for a little moment that it wasn't a goal as well. And in the second quarter, it opened up for James Seller, didn't it? A couple of goals in a couple of minutes.
And he kicked a couple of quick ones, and here's the one, the Elstone, the long kick. He just fell down in front of the pack. And Murray, he was good today. He kicked 4 goals straight and looked really lively. And you know, he's got a bit of grunt in him. He was in there laying tackles, shepherds, flying the flag for his teammates. So he'd be happy with his performance. And here's his other one here. I think this is his 3rd goal. Shows a bit of emotion. You love to see players after they kick a goal to show a bit of emotion, get the side going.
Good work from young Fosdyke here. Gave off the hand pass, and Fisher with the good finish. And it was close all day, really, wasn't it? It was, you never thought for sure. I think the greatest margin might have been around the 20-point mark. In fact, it was 16 according to my stats. And that was when the Bays led close or just after quarter time. So it never really got out beyond that 3-goal margin.
Yeah, definitely. And they're the types of games of footy you love to see. And it was tight, it was seesawing, you know, they almost had a half a quarter each, so it wasn't like, you know, Port can go away and say, look, we didn't play 4 quarters of footy. They did play 4 quarters, but probably played them in 4, you know, in halves, if you can't even do that with quarters of footy. But they, you know, played half a quarter of good footy, half a quarter of not so good, and it was basically pretty even over the day.
Yeah, well, they talk about tempo footy, but it was momentum footy, wasn't it? One side would get it for a few minutes, and then it'd go back the other way. And certainly towards the end of the game, a couple of times, it was out to 14 points when Murray kicked that goal at the 9-minute mark of the final term. And then, as we said, Rudolph with a roost at the 24.5-minute mark to tie the scores away. And of course, the Bays did have an opportunity late in the game with the ball down there deep in attack, but they just couldn't get it through from the kick that came from, help me out here, David Mitchell it was.
Yeah.
So if we look through those quarter by quarters, 15 points, the margin in favour of the Tigers at quarter time, all squared away at half time. And then at 3/4 time, it was 2 points in favour of Port, and all square at full time.
Here we have the goal kickers. Murray, obviously the standout for Port Adelaide Magpies with the 4 goals, and then a host of people kicking 1 with Mark Clayton, LaCroix, Batson, Biachi, and Summerton, who had another good game. And Mitchell there with 3. He set up a few as well, so he had a good day up front. Seller kicked those 2 in 2 minutes, and Douglas, we said earlier, he didn't get a lot of the ball. He probably had 15, 20 touches, which is okay, but it's just his quality of touches, and he really does have a little bit of class about him, and the Adelaide Crows Football Club will be very happy with his form.
The inside 50, so you mentioned about the 11 goals, 14, but 49 entries versus 40.
Yeah, that's a you know, when the side has 9 more inside 50s, that's a lot. I think they rebounded well, Glenelg, and like I said, people like Fisher and Rudolph did really well. I see the centre breaks 14 to 13. I think Glenelg got a lot of quality use out of their centre breaks, which is back when obviously Port were playing their ruckman in the hole, and that's when Glenelg did struggle. So for them to, I think they should go back on the videotape and look how they got those centre breaks, because they got real good use out of them.
Well, you mentioned Shane Biachi, one of the players who had an excellent game this afternoon. He collected 20 possessions and 5 marks. Also kicked the goal that we're seeing.
And his pace is fantastic, and he was running just as fast in the last quarter as he was in the first quarter. 18 kicks, 5 marks, 2 handballs, 1 goal. Quite easily could have finished with 3 goals, and that would have really topped off his performance.
Reserves best and fairest in 2004 at the Magpies, through and through, very much a black and white player.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, how a player like that can win a reserves best and fairest and not get promoted to the league regularly, because he is a flashy player. He does break the lines.
Kicking the ball off there for Clive Waterhouse, another player that, well, we thought was very good this afternoon as well, and we talked about him through the highlights in Adam Fisher from the Bays. And Fisher, a prolific ball winner. Now, 2 years ago when he first came, or hang on, not last season, the season before, so 2 years ago when he first came into the league, he was brilliant. He won the Bays best and fairest. Last year had injury problems, and most of his year was taken away from him by an ankle injury, but he's back to his best.
And he's obviously held in high regard down there in Glenelg. He's the vice-captain of the football club. His stats today were 13 kicks, 6 marks, 4 handballs, and he finished off with a goal, that one we saw earlier on the highlights package where Fosdyke really took him on, and here it is. He just ran down, followed the ball, and just a class finish, didn't panic, in a little bit of traffic.
Extremely well thought of at Sandringham is Fisher when he came across here. I know I spoke to a few people when the VFL played the SANFL over there. They were very interested in him. They thought he was a quality person. They were very disappointed to lose him to the Bays. Ben Mules is our mark of the round. Let's have a look at this one. And Benny Mules, the skipper of the Bays, in defence, very solid, back in a crowd.
That's a good mark. We saw Clive Waterhouse would have easily seen a mark of the year, I think, if he took that one in the, I think it was the second quarter, but that's helping out your backman there. Rudolph obviously held out Clive, and he's come back with a bit of courage.
He's a solid player from Kalangadoo down in the Glenelg recruiting area down in the southeast. And Richard Douglas, our goal of the round. We're going to have a look at the class of Richard Douglas. I think that just sums him up totally, really.
Yeah, he's a quality player. He's had 14 kicks, 4 handballs, 3 marks, and kicked a couple of goals. So this is the one where we were talking about just the awareness that the body's coming. You know, he doesn't make it obvious, but he was always going back inside there. He knew that. Everyone else knew except the Magpies defender there. I think it was Perry who came there, but just a quality finish. Didn't panic under pressure and just slotted it in.
I was impressed with a player that, now he's missed that mark, but he was on the turn as he came down. He realised he knew where it was and he went after it quickly.
Definitely, that's awareness of knowing where the space is behind you, and all small forwards need to know that. They need to know if the ball goes over the back, they need to be the first one there and keep their feet.
Round 12, rivalry round, stirred over Norwood last night by 60 points. Today it was Port, a draw with the Bays. Centrals against the Eagles tonight at Elizabeth. If you can get there, Stewie, I know, is very interested in that game tonight. And then tomorrow afternoon, way down at what will be, I'm sure, a very, very cold and inhospitable Noarlunga for the North Adelaide football side that take on South Adelaide. Westies have the bye, as I said, they're taking on the under-18 side earlier today. Coming up on ABC2 Digital, our coverage of the Pacific Nations Rugby Union. Of course, with the World Cup later this year, Japan playing the junior All Blacks up there in Tokyo. We look forward to that for tomorrow from 5:30 p.m. Next week, round 13 of SANFL football. Centrals against Norwood at Elizabeth is our match to be covered. Port playing the Eagles. Oh, another tough battle here at Alberton next weekend as well. Westies against North, Sturt against Glenelg, and South Adelaide has the bye. Next week also, remember, it's the Blind Sporting Council, blind leading the blind. The umpires involved with the Blind Sporting Council and raising money, and that should be plenty to look forward to. Stewie, thanks for your company this afternoon. What a game of SANFL football.
Oh, it's been fast. It's the first game I've actually seen a draw live without playing one, so quite exciting stuff. It's,
it was a strange feeling at the end too, wasn't it? We clearly saw that on the players.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Like we said, there's a little bit more disappointment. Tim Ginniver was very, very disappointed, but you know, that's the way it goes.
Happy memories for Port Adelaide. We're going to show you the highlights from the grand finals between 1977 and now.
Running for him, comes up now, he gets through the ball, Weston getting back on the ball, he's taken out, comes the Ranger, fires towards goal, will bounce through, into the square, ball comes to ground, Brady there with the opportunity from the edge of the square, he blasts it through, Evans from behind, Redmond, into the open goal square and dribbles it through, joint kick, and he drills the centre, Evans goal to Tim Evans. Gives it to Granger, can't get the kick away, yes he can. Griffin, General's 45 metres out, going in high, going to be close. Evans is playing the ball, but the outside was a goal.
Martin kicks towards full forward, Evans contemplated the handballs out the goal, runs to the goal, and makes it through.
Weston to Pate. Even Cocker up towards Evans, he can't half volley it or green run the back of the pack, and Bradley bombs through. Evans wants it, cutting him around the corner, the bounce to return with this one, at the back of the pack, Ranger! The back of the pack mopping up his Kerry, he overran the football,
mate. Best day.
Russell Johnson's a legend and Wanganeen, look at him run onto the ball. 30 metres out, the left foot. He goes! By Gavin Wanganeen.
Long left foot, Mitch and Murphy. Bang, goal. Hodges again. This time it's 2 against 1. And Smith goals! 2 against 1 the other way.
The 1990 Premiership for Port Adelaide, a third consecutive grand final for Port Adelaide.
He's got David Brown and Rowan Smith in a symbolic gesture supporting the trophy.
This is the best premiership ever.
Good handball by Darren Smith. That was a beauty. Buckley has one to beat. That was Roubre. He did it easy. He's a class act.
Quickly now to Chalmers, who'll get run down, gets the kick away. It's a huge kick, that could bounce through. Play on is the call, quickly now, into the open goal goes ball eight.
Hodges a big lead, had to apply the spoil, loose ball. Dinner would like to snap one, and I think he has.
It's been a hard year, we've worked hard for this, and by God we deserve it.
Well done to you guys, well done to Jack, and you're a great football club, well done.